lies down, but I know there's always a way. From sunrise till dawn, I'll be here waiting. From sunrise till dawn, I'll never stop. I'll fix you up, make everything much smoother again. I'll fix you up, from sunrise till dawn, my friend. I'll fix you up, with these hands and heart so true. I'll fix you up, Daniel, I'll fix you up. The connections might be tangled, the power source has lost its spark, but every wire tells a story, and I can mend what's torn apart. From sunrise till dawn, I'll be here waiting. From sunrise till dawn, I'll never stop. I'll fix you up, make everything run smooth again. I'll fix you up, from sunrise till dawn, my friend. I'll fix you up, with these hands and heart so true. I'll fix you up, Daniel, I'll fix you up. When the current isn't flowing, when the signals disappear, I'll be here with tools and patience, make the static crystal clear. Every cable, every circuit, every problem that you bring, I'll restore what time is broken, make the whole world sing. So don't you worry about tomorrow, don't you stress about today. I've got maintenance for your troubles, and I'll chase them all away. I'll fix you up, make everything run smooth again. I'll fix you up, from sunrise till dawn, my friend. I'll fix you up, with these hands and heart so true. I'll fix you up, Daniel, I'll fix you up. Hey, Daniel, everything's good as new. Hey, Daniel, I'll fix you up for you.
Stupid train. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Daniel. And today is Judge Stephanie Boyd, another good judge that we're going to lose at the end of this year because she didn't win the election. So Judge Middleton's retiring at the end of this year, and Judge Boyd is out. Wow, that's really sad. Two good judges. Well, let's get started with this. Make this bigger. Yes, I'll be here, but I'll be watching the skip ads. So let's get started.
All right, who is here on Gabriel Guyona? Hello.
In regard to this case, Judge, I haven't had recent contact. I've been trying my best, but in reviewing the evidence, Judge, it seems like it doesn't meet the elements of the offense. So although he is absent, we're requesting the court consider this motion, Judge.
Okay. Right, thank you.
Your Honor, may be excused?
Yes.
Appreciate it.
All right. Oh, on this one,
We have an agreed recommendation.
do you have the motion or not?
I have a motion and Ms. Galloway signed the motion.
Thank
with,
you.
Some conditions.
All right, so the defense stand here. Is that your client?
It is.
Mr. Mendez, if you'll come up, please. Cindy, we're going to go on the record. Court is calling 2020 CR 2487 State versus Christopher Mendez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Good morning, Your Honor. Christian Newman on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Mendez, and he is present today.
And are you Mr. Mendez? All right, we're here on a motion to revoke. The defense has filed a motion to set bond. The court is making an assumption. If it's incorrect, let me know. I'm assuming he's remanded without bond because there's a motion to revoke. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And for no other reason?
Correct.
All right. So, State, are you prepared to proceed on the motion to set bond? And it's the court's understanding that you all have agreed to a bond amount of $40,000?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. For the record, the court is aware of the defendant's issues as far as setting conditions for bond. So this is what the court will do. The court will set your bond at $40,000. The court is going to order 30 sober meetings in 30 days. And there's one other thing that I need to ask. Mr. Mendez, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record. All right, Mr. Mendez, since you've been on probation out of this court, have you had any type of mental health treatment? Have you been taking any type of mental health medication that has been prescribed? All right, thank you. All right, the court was then, as previously stated, the bond will be set at $40,000 and you're to complete 30 sober meetings in 30 days. Ms. Ferguson, I need a reset for 20 days for a contested MTR. And if it's not contested, counsel, let us know.
Will do, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, what date?
Judge, you said 20 days?
Yes. Oh, and I'm sorry, State, you may be excused.
I can do October 23rd.
All right, so we'll be back here on October 23rd. If you'll give him a reset form, please. Thank you.
And one question, Your Honor.
Yes.
I did let him know today that because of the warrant on the MTR, he'd probably be taken into custody. We were going to ask the court whether he would be allowed to process through satellite or if he needs to go to the jail to process out in custody.
You'll need to talk to the deputy about that because they now have different rules that there's certain offense you're not allowed to process out from the court. But the deputy will be the best person to answer that question.
Thank you,
Okay,
Judge.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
And Norma, you said October when?
23rd.
All right, thank you.
May I be excused to talk to the deputy?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
Matthew Raymond Meyer.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. How's your day going so far?
It's so far so good, Judge. I hope it stays that way. I think it will.
As I look at the judges on the wall,
Yes.
your eyes don't necessarily follow everyone, but I see you every morning and you have that smile. So I appreciate that.
What am I looking at? That's creepy, Judge. Isn't it?
You're looking at me. I say, hi, Joey.
I'm looking straight at you, right? Hey, Judge.
All right. So on this case, where are we?
This case has a companion DWI.
Mhm.
We're very close to an agreement already,
Okay.
but I need to negotiate with the other case where I'm going to go. So we'd like some time to continue our negotiations. There's also some discovery missing, but I think that's not going to be an issue.
All right. Miss Ferguson, on this case, I need a plea deadline date in 30 days. All right. I'll be in a great mood because that's my birth month.
It's your birth month.
Yeah.
Okay, Judge, we will return then.
All right. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Once you sign the reset form, you'll be excused. Just have a seat and your attorney will bring the reset form to you. And Norma, if you can make sure it's on both cases.
The other one's a
Let me write
misdemeanor.
this down.
The other case is a misdemeanor.
Okay.
Base 44 Super.
All right, the court is calling 2024 CR 011954, State versus Dora Marie Bravo. Can I have parties announce?
Daniel Cranbrook for the defense.
And are you Dora Marie Bravo?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? You're going to need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Dora Marie Bravo who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2024 CR 011954 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance penalty group 2, less than 1 gram, on June 3rd, 2025 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Filing condition number 14AA, on or about the 11th day of August 2025 in Bear County, Texas, the defendant Dora Marie Bravo did then and there fail to comply with the rules, regulations, or instructions of the Bear County Community Supervision and Corrections Department, in that the defendant failed to follow top recommendations for SATF in violation of condition number 14A.
How do you plead to that, true or not true? Did you understand by pleading true to violation 14AA, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of 14AA?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find 14AA true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, the proposed agreement is to grant state's motion, enter an adjudication of guilt and sentence to 126 days in the state jail facility under 12th Party.
Would it be in the Bear County Jail? The 12
Yes, state jail facility, Bear County Jail.
Those
No.
are,
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
just 1 second.
Bear County Jail, Your Honor.
No problem.
Apologies.
No problem. All right, here's my question. What has she done on probation?
she never came out of custody, Your Honor. So she took the plea, back in June. And they recommended SATF, which she didn't, agree to.
Okay.
So she's been in custody for the whole time.
All right, so I'm not going to follow this agreement. There are rules and regulations that you have to follow for probation. Otherwise, you're not on probation. You're just doing your thing and telling people what you would not do. Your conditions of probation were parenting classes, which tells me,
I signed up for parenting while I'm in.
so here's the thing. You were supposed to be going to SATF because obviously you have a drug or alcohol problem. If you did not, they would not have recommended that. So, I'm sorry, what?
It wasn't on the paperwork that it was given to me.
No, they told you that you're supposed to be going to SATA
She's saying for your evaluation, not for
Yeah.
your original plea.
because according to the conditions that I gave you, I said that you are not to have any contact with Roberto Avalos, JC Penney stores, and that you're to complete the TAP evaluation while in custody, follow TAP recommendations. There was a referral to felony drug court, and you decided you don't want to do that. And now you feel as though you're entitled to an agreement where you just do Bear County jail time. It's not going to happen because you didn't follow the conditions that the court set for you.
If I may, Your Honor?
Yes.
She doesn't have any felony convictions at this time. She was willing to take the conviction in order to not waste anybody's time. She just doesn't think so that she'll be successful on the probation, and so she's asking for the full plea.
All right. Well, what I can tell you, part of my issue is, well, not issues, part of my duties is to protecting the community. And for me to say that you were to do parenting classes, that means that you have a child. Otherwise, I wouldn't have recommended parenting classes.
She doesn't have custody of him at this time.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. The at this time part, that's the problem. So what would end up happening is you would go to jail, you would do your 124 days or whatever it is. The jail would give you 3 for 1, and you probably have a judgment satisfied, or they give you 2 for 1. You probably have a judgment satisfied. You would walk out, go do your drugs or whatever, and then go pick up your child from wherever he is. So these are your 2 choices, and these are your only choices. Either you're going into inpatient treatment, or either you're getting 2 years at the state jail facility. Which do you prefer? All right, so the court will deny the motion, alter and amend conditions to include SATF, and upon release from SATF, there's to be no unsupervised contact with or residing with minors. And that will be revisited once she completes her parenting classes. And probation, was she not eligible for felony drug court?
No, Judge, she was not. Oh, let me just double check. Did not meet the criteria, Judge.
All right. All right. Is there anything else you need from the court? All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You don't know what an AI work management platform is? Yikes. Here's 3 new AI-powered changes to the Monday platform in 2026 and what they actually mean. We all know we need to use AI, but we're still figuring out how. Well, Monday.com figured it out. Number 1, Monday Sidekick. It's like your own business consultant.
And she's to remain in custody until transfer to Santa. Oscar Lopez. Good morning. We're addressing appropriately for court. All right, so today is plea deadline date. Is there an agreement or you all want a jury trial?
Judge, my understanding was, we were here, we had some discovery issues last time. I just got the plea yesterday or day before yesterday. And
Okay, how old are you, sir?
How old am I?
Yes.
49.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, reset this in 2 weeks for a plea deadline date, please. All right, October 16th will be your plea deadline date. At that time, you'll need to let the court know whether you've reached an agreement. If you have not reached an agreement, your next setting is going to be a jury trial date.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Just
you.
have a seat in wait for your attorney to bring the reset form to you. Once you sign that, you're excused. And if you will sign the acknowledgement of discovery, please.
I signed that when I was here last time, Judge.
Ah,
Do I need to
Judge
update it
Angelini?
though? I did have a little hand.
Oh, if you could
caveat.
update it then.
Okay.
State, if you give her an updated acknowledgement of discovery. Thank you. All right, just have a seat. Thank you. All right, Francisco Yanez. If you'll come forward, please. Hello, Mr. Yanez. Your attorney is actually out of county in another court.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you fill out the paperwork for the pretrial diversion?
They just sent it to me yesterday and I didn't get to a printer, so I'm gonna print it today and finish. the rest.
All right, so when you come back next time, you'll need to have all of that done, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you need help filling that out, just speak with your attorney.
Okay.
And you have your attorney's contact information?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a PTD date. All right, so we're going to be back here on November 4th. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you. You're
Your Honor.
welcome. All right, Brandy Mendoza,
Morning, Judge.
good morning. How's it going today?
Oh, it's going okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so on this case, where are we on the discovery? What's happening?
Judge, I think on this
Excuse
case,
me, if y'all will clear the center? Yes.
I think we've got the discovery on. It was just indicted, I guess recently. This is a first setting on it.
Mhm.
It's an old case. It took them more than a year to indict.
Mhm.
But there's a new case that's out there that's unindicted. They're still waiting on labs. They're trying to give me a global offer, but they need to see, the state is telling me they need to see some information on that. And there's a misdemeanor also that has to be reviewed that hasn't been filed yet. So they were all from May. We're still waiting on May.
All right, Norma, on this case, give me a plea deadline date at the beginning of November, please.
November 4th.
All right, so we'll be back on November 4th. At that time, you need to let the court know whether you've reached an agreement with the state. If you have not, your next setting will be a jury trial date.
Okay.
Do you understand? All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Just have a seat. Your attorney will bring you the reset form. Once you sign it, you're excused. All right, thank you. Thank you. Sure.
Yes.
I had a case, that was added to your docket, State versus Paris, Judge. He's been through competency proceedings.
State versus who?
Paris, that's
Oh,
the.
okay, yes.
So I got him restored, he made restoration last week, and so I wanted to bring him over right away so we could resolve the case. Norma was nice enough to add it onto your docket for today. I've got everything worked out with the state, in terms of recommendation to the court. But, didn't get brought over from the jail. And so he's still up to South Tower and they're not sure when they can get him over here
Oh,
today.
well, let's do this. See if they can set him up with Zoom,
Okay.
and then we can send paperwork to him through Zoom.
Okay. I just said the trial sort of appeal. That's it. I mean,
All
because
right.
it's,
So, let's see if we can get him by Zoom, and we can do that.
okay.
All right, Norma, his client needs to be by Zoom, and they need to be able to let him do an Adobe sign. Are you on, Henry Medina?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, great. They were saying like, but, hello,
Hi.
welcome. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Waiting on mental health referral. I see in my notes.
That's correct.
That's gonna happen soon. I'm co-presiding of mental health court with Judge Rangel. So what I'm going to do, let me see here.
Comments like that.
I'm gonna reset this. And you can appear by Zoom. We're gonna reset it for October 13th. I'm sorry, just give me a moment. It's what we will do with your case. Are you able to appear by Zoom?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I know that there is a staffing, according to my calendar, on October 10th.
10th.
So what I'll do is I'll set you for October 13th. You can appear by Zoom. If for some reason he's not on the docket, the staffing docket for October 10th, I'll have Ms. Ferguson get in touch with you, and I'm assuming you have contact with him,
Yes.
and we'll set it for a different date other than the 13th. So for now, it'll be the 13th by Zoom. All right, is there anything else?
No, Judge, thank you.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if you put them down for October 13th, and he can appear by Zoom, and we'll see if he's on my staffing. All right, thank you, guys. Joshua Gonzalez. Well, who's the attorney for Mr. Gonzalez?
Oh, Jerry Kagan on behalf of Mr. Gonzalez.
All right, today's plea deadline date.
Judge, we got a problem, and that is, I still don't have the flash drive with all the videos. They're having problems putting it on. I did get some of the videos to open on a different computer. And on those videos, you can hear Mr. Gonzalez explain to the officer that he's been diagnosed with temporal lobe disorder. And just to be on the safe side, I think I need to request an evaluation before having Mr. Gonzalez decide whether he wants a trial.
So you believe he's not competent?
I believe that's a possibility. So I can file that today.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, set this for a jury trial date and a plea deadline date, please. And then if you'll accept his motion for request for competency. January 6th. All right, your jury trial date and plea deadline date will be January 26th. January 6th. All right, January 6th, 2026.
Thank you.
Step outside, man.
So was she talking to an inmate? Who's the inmate who's in the box who was talking to her?
Judge.
Mr. Mullinex. Mr. Mullinex, listen to me clearly. That person is not going to be allowed back in this courtroom. So when you call them for the jail, tell them they need not appear because they're not going to be allowed in the courtroom unless they're being called as a witness. All right, thank you.
My heart.
Sorry about that, Judge.
No problem. Ruben Villarreal, can you unmute for me, sir?
Okay.
All
Can you hear
right.
me?
Yes, I can hear you. Your attorney told me that you were not aware of your court date. Sometimes that happens with Odyssey when it's your first setting. So
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to give you a reset date. Do you live out of county?
Yeah, I live in Bandera County.
How far is Bandera from here?
About an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to recall your case. I'll allow you to appear by Zoom.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. Let me see what date.
Yeah, I was heading out there this morning. Well, I've been calling in once a week.
Okay. Well, calling into your bondsman is completely different from calling into the court, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I call the courts every week. And
All
they
right,
told me.
so this is when your next court date is going to be.
Yes, ma'am.
Your next court date is going to be October 30th.
30th. What time, ma'am?
It's at 9 o'clock, and your attorney will make sure you have the Zoom link to Zoom in, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate your help and your time.
Thank you. Counsel, have you received discovery in this case?
No, I have not, Judge.
All right, state if you'll make sure that she has the discovery. It's on Ruben Villarreal. So we're going to
Yes.
come back on October 30th for discovery, and it's going to be a quick turnaround for a plea deadline date.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. You may be excused. Damian Antonio.
Judge.
All right. If Mr. Antonio, if you'll come up. And counsel, you're currently in trial with us.
I believe so.
All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to recall this for October 30th for discovery. Are you here, counsel, or no?
Oh, let me check. I should be. Yeah, I can be here on the 30th because I got a final consult just down the hall on a trial case. So
All
we'll be here.
right, so we're going to recall you on October 30th. That's for discovery to make sure that your attorney has all of the information. All right, once you sign the reset form, you are excused. Thank you. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
We might be filing an AQ motion on this one, on the marijuana science.
Okay, all right.
I talked to the state, though. I think we can come to.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Adriana,
Good to go, bud.
on Damian Antonio, could you do one for discovery for October 30th? Thank you so much. Jeffrey Dollar.
Present, Judge. Morning, Judge.
Good morning. Okay, I was telling everybody about our Scotland trip with Virginia, where we were in Scotland, and Hannah said, Stephanie, where the castle has been known to be haunted, and you're staying in the most haunted room. And so I was telling my story. People like, no, that's not true. I'm like, yes, Hannah, it's true.
I would have moved. I don't do ghosts.
All right, so today is the plea deadline date.
So, Judge, the plea deadline was actually last week, and you had recalled it for today. There is a PF case that was filed while he was out on bond.
All right, everyone, please whisper. Yes.
It's an engaging or organized crime case. And so Melissa contacted intake to try to get the file, because if we're going to work something out, we'd like to work him out on both cases. He's habitual. There's a sizable offer on the first case. What I'd ask the court to do is give us 30 days so we can try to get both cases worked out at the same time.
All right, Melissa. On this case, do you all actually have the discovery on the engaging in organized crime?
I don't know how much is involved in that case. It's with our intake prosecutor. I emailed her the same day that we were set. I asked her to look into it. She's not gotten back to me. I know, just based on what Mr. Maurer and I have discussed as far as the facts of the case, the allegations, I imagine that it is quite voluminous. So I don't know how quickly she's going to be able to get it together. I can make him an offer on the case that we have indicted. If
You did, there's already one on file.
but I don't know how much faster I can get her to get the ball rolling on.
And as far as the plea bargain, I mean, we're not in a position to reject it. I just would like to be able to resolve both cases at the same time, because I think the other case is going to be pretty significant based upon what at least I've read.
All right, so I'm going to recall it for November 6th. There will be no further extensions.
I'll send another email.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
All right, is there anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you for for dressing appropriately for court. Once you sign the reset form, you will be excused.
Judge, he's got a job right now, and we were trying to see if we can get him switched from, you on partial?
I'm on full house.
He's on full house arrest, to see if we can get him switched to.
You need to confer with the
Okay,
state.
I'll talk to him. Good. Yeah, to see if I'll come talk to him.
And sir, Mr. Farris, we're just waiting for certain paperwork and then your attorney will zoom in to speak with you.
If it is invalid, we promise a tenfold refund. This denture can be successfully worn in
Chair, Mr. Dollar, the state agreed to partial GPS for work. If I think I have a copy of the motion, if I could.
Oh, do you have the motion? If you'll give that to me.
My short arms.
All right, if you will see that, the clerks will need that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Quick question, if I could.
Yes.
Pre-trial diversion.
Mhm.
Do I get a reset or how do I do it?
Yes. Are you ready?
What we're gonna do, we get fill an application today.
Okay. All right. So once you're ready to approach on it, just let me know.
After you do, I need to get the application first or I'm ready to get a reset right now.
Oh, if you'll talk to the clerk and they'll sign you in.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm. Juan Flores. Hello, Mr. Flores. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing good too.
All right. So you say it's PTD?
It is, Judge.
One more day.
All right, Adriana,
Yes, ma'am.
we're going to recall this back for November 6th. Make sure that you follow through on everything, all right?
Yes.
And make sure you get the contract done. Your attorney will go over that with you.
Okay.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you will be excused.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
I like your earrings.
Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Where do I?
Oops. Juan Carlos. Juan Carlos Alade. Hi. Who's the attorney?
It's Miss Lefton.
Hi.
Miss Lefton? Yes. Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am, we are.
Okay.
I apologize.
No problem. And am I pronouncing your last name correctly? Okay, yeah, no, if I'm not pronouncing it correctly, you need to tell me. That's the only way I will learn, and I'm trying to learn Spanish. Oh, Olad. De. Olade. Okay. All right, the court is calling 2023 CR 11027C, State versus Juan Carlos Olade. Could I have parties announced for the record?
Megan Galloway for the state.
Lauren Lupton from Spillada.
And are you Mr. Olade? Right. Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Are you the same Juan Carlos Olade who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 11027C for the offense of burglary of a building on January 4th, 2024 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes.
All right, state.
Violation of condition number 4 in Bear County, Texas, the defendant Juan Carlos Almonte did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of February, March, and April of 2025. This violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true? I'm sorry?
True.
Right, state.
Leave and abandon their.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes.
All right, is there a proposed agreement?
There is no support of court to grant the state's motion and adjudicate the defendant guilty, revoke his community supervision, and sentence him to 8 months in state jail.
All right, is that the agreement?
That is our agreement on the docket. It shows 243 days in county, so we would just ask that he get credit for all that.
Are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, then the court will follow your agreement. The court is going to find you guilty, revoke, sentence you to 8 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. If you're going to continue this way in your life, guess what's going to end up happening? A lot of judges are going to learn how to pronounce your last name because you're going to be in and out of somebody's courtroom, prison, or jail. If you don't want your life to turn out that way, then you're going to have to start making some changes. You understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Snap your W-2.
All right, Mario Vargas.
Yes.
And does he have two motions with us or?
Yes, I think so.
All right, so what are we here for?
We're asking to remove the ignition interlock during the time, we had a hearing on the MTR
Mhm.
and he was continued on probation, but he was given time in jail, they said. And then after that, he's gonna go to inpatient treatment. So during the time that he's incarcerated, we're asking the court to remove the ignition interlock from his cars.
Okay, so here's my question. I see we have the 2024 CR 1737, but they also have him with a new case. Yes.
When
So,
Judge Angelini was here, we did a contested.
okay.
But I believe that the condition for the ignition interlock was for the probation that he was on. And then it would be ordered as condition of bond.
All right, so here's the issue we're at. You're saying that he's supposed to be going into inpatient treatment?
After he serves the time in jail.
So just so the court's aware of like the case history, while Judge Angelini was here, we had a contested MTR. Judge Angelini found the new number one true, and as a sanction, he ordered the defendant to 180 days Bear County jail day for day, and then after that, the defendant is supposed to go to Safe PI, I believe, for treatment.
All right, so the only problem we're going to have, because this new case is indicted, safety is not going to accept him with an open case. I mean, he's just going to be sitting.
I'm aware of that, and my intention is to work it out before the 180 days.
Ah,
Like, I'm gonna get it worked out before.
okay.
I just need a little bit more time to confer with Mr. Valdez on that.
All right, so when did Judge Angelini enact the 180 days?
September 12th.
All right. All right, so how much time are you asking with the new case?
The new case had a setting.
All right, let me check.
It has a setting already.
Let me look in the system for what the setting is. That way there won't be any confusion.
You remember the date? October 27th, he said.
Yes. So do y'all, so we'll just come back on that on October 27th. And he's currently in custody, not going to be released from in custody. And so you're just asking for the ignition interlock to be removed while in custody.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think no question about that. We're agreeable with that, but
okay.
I think he was ordered on both cases. I want to make sure that
I'm not sure if it's on both cases
if
or
it's only
not.
one, they're gonna not remove.
Let me do this, just 1 second. All right, counsel, and if you're in defense, can sign that, please. All right, Ms. Abrams, then the ignition interlock will be removed and reinstated upon release from custody.
Yes.
And then Norma, both of these cases, just put them on the same date, which is October 27th.
I will do that.
Oh, if you'll give it to Ms. Galloway to sign,
What date would he be coming back to?
he's going to be coming back on October 27th. All right, take advantage of this, all right?
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. Good luck to you. Thank you, counsel.
Yes, Judge, thank you.
What was the reason for Mr. Vargas coming back?
Oh, he's just coming back because we haven't heard his case. He already has a setting for October 27th. It's on a new case.
Yes.
I mean, you can put it down as discovery. Christopher Fields. Hello, Mr. Fields.
Hello.
Hi. So court in this courtroom is at 9 a.m. Why were you late?
I was here on time. I just didn't know which courtroom to be in.
All right, so you're not here on time if you're not in the courtroom. So now you know where the courtroom is, and you should have already known because we keep recalling this case because you're a no-show. So you need to make sure you're on time. You understand? All right.
Well, a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I didn't get any, well, there was nothing in the system when I went to check in regarding my court date.
I'm gonna check with the clerks before we leave that they have the proper address for him, so that when the postcards go out for court dates, he will definitely be getting them.
All right. So where are we on discovery?
Judge, I would say discovery that we received from the law enforcement agencies come to over the minor use. It's not, it's not to the child, right? To clarify what exactly is going on in the case, what is the appropriate resolution is, and in addition to that, I think that all a couple of things. So I'm asking for the time for discovery to try to make sure of what's going on.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 30-day reset for discovery. Thank you. All right.
That works.
All right, we will see you on November 4th. Once you sign the reset form, you are excused.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Your Honor, may I approach?
We're not.
Yes.
Procedural question. I have Mr. Molinax. He's got some state jails that I'm on, but there is a brand new felon in possession that Jonathan Ross is on. The offers on the felon in possession. Do you need me to wait for Jonathan to get here? Or can I approach
Oh, you can approach.
on mine? Okay. I will confirm with my client briefly and then I'll approach, but I just wanted to know if
All right.
we needed to wait or not. Okay.
Because the agreement, has an agreement been reached or no?
There is a brand new offer today, which is based on the new case. So, but there is no deal.
Oh, let me see where we are. All right, so Mr. Mullinex. All right, today's your plea deadline date. This plea deadline date has been moved many a times. It's not going to be moved anymore. Either y'all are reaching agreement today or you're not. If you're not, then it's gone. You're getting set for jury trial. So that's where we are.
Understood, Your Honor.
All right, so jury trial?
Yes, yes.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, Mr. Mullinex, come down. All right, Mr. Mullinex, my understanding is that you all are unable to reach an agreement. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements after this date. So this is the date. If you don't have a plea bargain agreement, then you all are going to jury trial. Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date before the new year, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, your jury trial date is going to be December 9th. We'll see you then. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I
Thank you. Yes. All right, who are you here for?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm here on Dean Delgado.
Yes.
Yes, and he's got an MTR plus 2 other counts. We've negotiated, we've got it all worked out. The state is working on the paperwork, but I don't think we'll probably get finished before.
Oh, yeah, we will.
Okay, I mean, I'm happy to do
All right,
that,
thank you.
rather than me having to come back, but.
All right, yeah, they're doing the paperwork. You'll have it done today. All right, thank you.
Okay, all right. I'll be happy to do that. That means I don't have to come back next week.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
When curiosity strikes about the everyday lives of your family, we're here with answers Only your
I understand you called Felipe Gonzalez while I was out in the hall.
Yes, I did.
I understand he's in the process of being released from the jail, so he's not able to be here. That,
That's what they're telling me. All right, Norma. On Felicio Gonzalez, recall him for Tuesday.
Judge, I am out next week on vacation.
Ah,
I can.
well, you have to enjoy your vacation.
I hope to enjoy my vacation.
Well, hopefully we didn't jinx that by saying
No.
that.
The strike. Well, not the strike, but
Yeah.
the commission.
All right, Norma, recall this for the 13th.
October 13th?
Yes.
Thank you.
Heiser.
Johnson.
Heiser Johnson? Where are
I think
you?
he's in custody, Judge.
Okay, where is he? I mean, I know you're saying he's in custody, but is he out here? Have you all conferred?
They have the discovery for his case is apparently under another JN number that was closed.
Right.
So we need some time to get the discovery to meet.
But did y'all request, isn't this moving? Did y'all request him to? For some reason. This is taking me out of Odyssey, just 1 second. All right, and what issues?
There were two charges, one of which has been closed now, but apparently the discovery for my case is under that other JN number that's closed, and the state's moving that to where I can get access to it.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, recall this for Thursday.
That's work.
All right, thank you. All right, the parties on Murmea or Murmelia.
They didn't bring him over today, Judge, and it's a motion to set a bond. So just asking the court if the court would consider either bringing him over this afternoon by Zoom. I have to be in Kendall County if the court or tomorrow, whatever is easier
We
for the
can do
court.
it by Zoom, but if we do it by Zoom, you'll need to be here exactly at 1:30.
Yeah, I can do it from the parking lot. Judge, I'll have to be on Zoom too. I've got to be in Kendall County.
Deputy Laura
Yes, Judge.
and Norma, if you can have this person available by Zoom at 1:30.
Okay.
And I'll get the login credentials, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Or either, you know what? See if it's possible if Judge Nahara is available to hear that.
I'll do it.
Mr. Ferris is on his way. He's already en route. They took him off the Zoom and sent him.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's out of our control, Judge.
And there's other inmates that are on as well. So I don't know if one of your guys on there as well.
All right. Well, we shall see.
You want me to check with Judge Nahara?
Well, they're bringing people over, so we'll see if your person is arriving.
I'll stick around.
But we're recessing at noon. Hello. Good morning. How dare you? You should speak to me in Spanish. I'm trying to learn. Buenos dias. ¿Cómo está? Okay, let's not go too far. I'm just learning. All right. So on this case, where are we on discovery?
Judge, I believe we've received it all. I have received an offer from the state. I do need to talk with our immigration attorney about that.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if you can give me a date for this, for a plea deadline date in November, the last week we're here before Thanksgiving.
The 20th?
That sounds great.
Just 1 second, please. All right, the 20th. So we'll be back on November 20th. At that time, you'll need to let the court know whether or not you reached an agreement. If you have not, your next court date will be your jury trial date. Is there anything else?
No.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
De nada.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Carissa Ramos. Good morning.
I had a potential trial with 226, but we worked it out, so I'm here fairly late, sorry.
So that's okay, because you're here to work out another case.
Yes.
So
I believe we have all discovery.
Okay.
I've proposed, the state is very likely able to tender an offer, but I've proposed it's not really a counter because I hadn't formally received the offer, but I proposed something. I'm gonna ask Ms. Ramos to take upfront classes. We're gonna do a mitigation packet. And the state's going to staff this, review this to see if potentially they could entertain my proposal. If we could have some time for that.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you set this for a plea deadline date? You all will need to confer off docket and set this for the last week in November before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
All right, so you'll be back on November 20th at that time. If you have not reached an agreement, your next court date is going to be a jury trial date. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, thank you for addressing appropriately for court. Just have a seat. Your attorney will bring your reset form. Once you sign that, you're excused. And if I could get an acknowledgement of discovery, please. Thank you.
Judge.
Mark Anthony Ferreira, if you can come up, Mr. Ferreira. Hi, have you had any contact with your attorney?
No, ma'am. They haven't reached out to, I tried to reach out, no, nothing back from them at all. Since I've been out.
All right. All right. So, and Norma, is his counsel appointed or retained? He's on page 4. And he's the last one from the bottom.
Alvin?
No, Freya.
Prayer.
Freya.
Prayer, yeah, you had the first time. You're fine, huh?
No, call Kelly Green because she's listed. Can you tell me, did you hire them or were they appointed?
Appointed.
All right.
It shows appointed Judge Kelly J. Green.
All right. So here's my question. You can remain with the same counsel you have, or if you would like, another attorney can be appointed to represent you.
If I get another one.
All right, just have a seat. We're gonna get an attorney appointed to represent you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, Norma. Let me go through this list. Just one moment. Has Jerry Kagan, I think he's still on Joshua Gonzalez, is that correct? And what is Joshua Gonzalez on another page?
3.
All right, so Joshua Gonzalez on page 3, then that's January 6th for jury trial. All right, and then Robert Broadback, has he appeared?
Yeah.
All right, that's going to be recalled for Monday. And Alfonso is outside talking to family. All right, who is Tyler Taylor? If you'll come forward. Hello, have you had contact with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am. I got a text saying that he would be here this morning, but I haven't heard nothing after that.
All right, so then what's going to end up happening, you're going to be recalled for 1:30. So make sure you get in touch with your attorney and let them know that they need to be here at 1:30, okay? All right, you excuse, we'll see you back at 1:30. You're welcome. And Norma, that's page 4. Naomi Alba, has Mr. Guerra come in?
No.
All right, that's going to come back on. Hi, Hunter, how's it going?
Yeah, good to see you.
You too. All right, that's going to come back on October 6th. All right, could Deputy, if you could make an announcement in the hallway for Christopher Michael Sanchez, please. All right, could I have someone from the state, please? The court is calling 2025 CR 009192, 2025 CR 009196, State versus Christopher Michael Sanchez for the state. All right, Deputy Laura, did you make an announcement for Christopher Michael Sanchez?
Yes, Your Honor, I did. He is not out there.
All right, state.
Your Honor, we will testify for him.
All right. The court will issue a judge's warrant, remand the defendant without bond. Thank you. And Norma, on page 5, has anyone seen Dirk Ashbaugh?
No.
All right, Norma, recall that for October 6th. If the attorney is not there, we're going to have Mac. All right, has Catherine Valenzuela been here? All right, we're going to recall this for October 6th. And Deputy Laura, on the inmates where the attorneys did not show, I'm gonna want those inmates brought out, whether they're here or not.
We have two of them here.
Jesus Alanis and Deputy Laura, who are those two?
One's Ashford.
Rodriguez, Duncan, and Mason, everything.
All right, who is who's represented by Ashbaugh? Jonathan Rodriguez? All right, Mr. Rodriguez, have you had any contact with your attorney? Have you ever seen them?
Yes.
I'm sorry, where?
There you go.
A year ago? All right, do you want, it shows that your attorney is appointed. Do you want to continue to proceed with that attorney, or would you like another one? All right, just have a seat for me, okay? All right, so Mr. Alanis.
This present, Judge.
All right, on this case, where are we on discovery? I know that you were recently appointed.
Judge, I believe I have everything. I checked the file. There's some not surveillance, some security videos and the location where this allegedly took place. But it's my understanding that the cameras were malfunctioning. So with that said, I believe I have everything
All right,
from
and
the state.
Dave, were you able to tender an offer?
Sure.
All right, counsel, you want this brought back in 30 days for a plea deadline date?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 30-day reset on Alanis Zarate,
Yes, I'd like to do, November 4th.
November 4th.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we'll bring you back on November 4th. At that time, you need to let the court know whether or not you have reached an agreement with the state. If you have not, the next setting you have will be a jury trial date. Much. All right. So once we can give you a reset date on him.
Okay.
Let me see. Do you want to call that back on November 4th as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, we're going to recall that for November 4th. Mr. Rodriguez, this is going to be your attorney. If he wants you brought back sooner than November 4th, he'll let us know. All right? Thank you.
Fryer.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. I'm going to request discovery.
Okay.
I believe if I could have a short discovery setting,
How
and
much
I get-
time are you requesting?
probably 3 weeks.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 3-week reset on Mr. Fryer.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Thank you.
October 23rd. Okay.
All right, so we'll come back on October 23rd.
Yes, Judge.
And once he signs the reset form, he's excused. And is there an application in this case or no?
No.
Have your client come up, please. What is your client's name?
Dean Delgado.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 008085, State versus Dean Delgado. Could I have parties announce?
Ron Zimmerman for Mr. Delgado.
Are you Mr. Delgado? Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I believe so, and yes, I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Delgado, did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? And count 2, you're charged with theft, $2,500 to $30,000 of a vehicle. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and give you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you are giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, he has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe so.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Mr. Delgado, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promise you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
If you are not a U.S. citizen by entering this plea, you will be deported, not allowed to re-enter the United States and be denied naturalization. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at a $2,000 fine, 15 months in the state jail facility. This will run concurrent with 2022 CR 3996. State is proceeding on count 2 only. There are no applications. Did you understand that to be your plea?
Yep.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counselor, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense in count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you review the admonishments and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and stipulated to stipulations of testimony. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Delgado, he is young and he does understand the difficulty that he has placed himself and his family in. And he's willing to accept responsibility for his actions. And he would request that the court go ahead and observe and grant the plea bargain.
All right, the court will follow your agreement, sentence you to a $2,000 fine, 15 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. This will run concurrent with 2022 CR 3996. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal.
Base 44 super agents.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right. And cause number 2022 CR 3996. Are the file stamp dates you all have for the motions to revoke, were these filed on April 25th, 2024 and March 2nd, 2023? All right, thank you. All right, in that cause number, did you review the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revokes community supervision? And also the first amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? All right, are you the same Dean Pablo Delgado who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 3996 for the offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle on October 5th, 2022 for a period of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violation of condition number 1 on or about 4th day of July 2020 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Dean Pablo Delgado, committed the offense of theft in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
And then violation of condition number 4 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Dean Pablo Delgado, They've been in there, failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December of 2023, and January, February, and March of 2024 in violation of conditions for March.
All right, how do you plead to that? True or not true? Any
No.
objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violations 1 and 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violations 1 and 4? Court will find 1 and 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
And then guilty is it's gonna 15 months in the state jobs.
All right, what have you done since you're on probation other than pick up new offenses? You want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Delgado.
All right, what have you done other than pick up new cases?
Well, I've been working with my uncle. He's a contractor and stuff.
Well, have you been working with your uncle? And because you just pled to another vehicle offense.
This was after the fact. So after that, I've been done with that. I realized what I did was wrong, and I'm not ready to pay for what I did. So after that, I've been working with my.
All right, so I can tell you for this, I'm not going to give you 15 months because you haven't done anything. The only thing you've done is pick up new cases, and it appears that you barely reported. So you haven't done anything. I gave you a curfew. Obviously, you violated your curfew. You haven't been reporting. You just picked up a new case. So the court is going to find you guilty or revoke. This will run concurrent with 2024 CR 00805. Court will sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you are on deferred adjudication. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Bob told
It's Paris Ferris.
All right. Are you all hearing a motion to revoke?
We are, Judge.
All right. The court is calling 2022 CR 11626 State versus Paris Ferris. Can I have parties announce?
Raymondville for the defense.
And are you Paris Ferris?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Did you review the documents entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Motion to Revoke Community Supervision and First Amendment Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Paris Ferris who was placed on community supervision in cause number 2022 CR 11626 for the offense of burglary of a habitation force on February 9th, 2023 for a term of 10 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violation of conditions for 4 and Bear County taxi defendant Paris Ferris did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of March, April, and May 2023 in violation of conditions of those 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true? State.
Violation of condition number 4 and the county taxis defendant Paris Ferris did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of 2023 in violation of condition.
How do you plead to that?
Yeah,
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No objection to the waivers, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violations 4 and 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 10 years in the prison and up to $1,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violations 4 and 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violations 4 and 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Judge.
Revoke supervision and sentence them to years and prison.
Is that the agreement?
That is the recommendation.
Are you asking the court to follow that agreement? Are you waiving your right to appeal? And counsel, off the record, you informed the court in the state's presence that your client was evaluated for competency
Yes, ma'am.
and recently regained competency?
Yes, ma'am. He has been receiving services for close to 2 years. He's come full circle. When I first worked with him initially over 2 years ago, he was in need of a lot of help. And the MTR was actually a wake-up call to get that help. And so he has work services. He has gotten to a very good spot at this point. We've got services lined up for him, assuming the court approves this agreement. And he has actually served at this time 846 days in jail.
All right, Mr. Ferris, I'm going to follow your agreement. I see that you have not picked up any new cases. And sometimes the failure to report is more related to mental health issues than anything else. So I'm going to follow the agreement that has been reached. I'm going to sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's still to be no contact with Stephanie Guerrero. I'm going to recommend the therapeutic community for you. It doesn't increase the time you're in custody, but it's just for them to give you the tools and resources you need so that when you release, you'll be able to connect with mental health services. If for any reason you're not able to connect with anyone with mental health services, if I'm still here on the bench, you can come back to me and I'll pick up the phone and call somebody to help you, okay? Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons, ammunition. If you have a question of what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. Make sure if there's some issues with your medications, any side effects, you let the doctors know, okay? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Have a seat, sir.
All right, Genevieve Pettis, you can remain there. Have you had contact with your attorney? Have you ever spoken with your attorney? All right, Ms. Ferguson, we're going to recall her for the 6th. If your attorney is not present, we'll make sure that a new attorney is appointed to represent you. All right, Donna Lynn Ellis. Have you had any contact with your attorney?
Never.
Ever?
No.
All right.
We're present.
Ah, okay. All right, thank you. All right. Then let's bring up Lynn Moran. All right, court is calling 2025 CR 001248, State versus Lynn Wayne Moran. Could I have parties announced?
Mantle and Brown State.
Louis Martinez on behalf of Mr. Moran.
All right, and are you Mr. Moran?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you entered a plea of guilty on July 21st, 2025. We were awaiting the PSI report. According to your plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 30 years. There's a $5,000 fine and there are no applications. And there's to be Chapter 62 compliance. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Judge.
Any objections, state or defense?
No objections, Judge.
Not to the PSI, Judge.
All right, and the court is in receipt of documentation tendered to the court by the defense attorney. And it appears to be letters from therapists and from other parties.
Correct, Judge.
All right, the court has reviewed those. State, have you had a chance to review those?
Yes, Judge.
All right, state, any witnesses?
No witnesses, Judge.
Defense, any witnesses?
Yes, Judge. I've got 2 witnesses. The first would be Hugh Moran, Mr. Moran's brother.
All right, if you'll step to the side, sir.
They're back against the counter.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Hugh Moran.
All right, defense, you may proceed.
Hugh, you're Lynn's brother, correct?
That's correct.
And how old are you, Hugh?
I'm 60.
And how old is Lynn?
69.
Now, do you understand what your brother's charged with?
Yes, I do.
And you understand that the plea bargain in this case called for the judge to decide a punishment between 15 years and 30 years.
That's correct.
Okay. And so obviously what you're asking the court to do is consider something closer to the 15 years than the 30.
That's correct.
What kind of, did you have any indications that your brother had gotten involved in this stuff?
I had no idea at all.
Yeah.
No.
Before his arrest?
No, I had no idea.
Are you telling the court that your brother didn't do this? Are you saying that this is not?
I just didn't know anything about it.
Okay. But
prior to the arrest, I had no idea.
But in speaking with your brother, he's taking accountability for it, right?
That's correct, yes.
Has he tried to blame anybody else to you guys?
No.
Has he minimized it or somehow said, hey, look, you know what, this is just a big mistake?
No, not at all. He's taking full credibility for what he's done.
Okay. And so, I mean, this is a very troubling case, right?
Yes.
And you understand that there are real victims when it comes to this material?
As far as I know, I'm not real familiar with it, but.
No, what I'm saying is, I mean, these aren't computer generated images. I mean, there are children that get photographed.
Right, yes.
So no one's minimizing that.
That's correct.
But prior to your brother's arrest here, what kind of a reputation did he have?
Was hardworking. He's worked in the medical field for 30-something years, and has great friends and been an uncle to my son and everything, and had good interactions with him and stuff like that.
How many grandchildren are in your family?
I only have one son, and he's 30.
Okay. And there were never any indications that that Lynn might be doing anything appropriate with the children family?
No.
Yeah, were there?
We have a real small family. I mean, it's down to just me, Lynn, my son now at this point.
But no rumors or whispers in an extended family that anything improper had ever happened?
No clue, no idea. Hadn't heard anything like that at all, ever.
And so when he got charged with this was just a complete and total shock?
It was a complete, total shock to me. Yes, that's correct.
Because this really is not consistent at all with the Lynn that you've known for your life?
That is correct. Yes, yes, sir.
And so in talking to your brother, you said your brother took responsibility, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And he made it known to you that he's been hiding this part of his life from everybody else?
Yes.
Now, you said your brother worked in the medical field.
That's correct.
What kind of work was he doing?
He was a speech pathologist.
Okay. And he worked with both adults and children?
That's correct.
Okay. And were you aware of any kind of complaints or any reports of impropriety?
He'd had a clean record, worked there forever, no problems, no write-ups or anything.
Okay. And the pre-sentence report in this case indicates that he doesn't have a criminal history. Is that consistent with what you know?
Yes. He's never been in trouble at all.
Okay. And your brother's 69 years old. And how is his health? Let me ask you.
I know he has diabetes, a little bit of asthma, and he's got arthritis.
Okay. So, I mean, health issues that are consistent with a man his age.
Right, correct. That's correct.
And now what you're asking, understand that if the court were to give something closer to the 30-year sentence, at your brother's age, he's likely not.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. And so despite these, the troubling nature of the accusations and the activity, you're asking the court to give him something closer to the minimum, something that would allow him at least some life expectancy when he gets out.
That's correct. Yeah.
Now, I talked about the plea bargain that was a cap of 15 years, essentially anything between, cap of 30 years, anything between 15 and 30 years. Okay. Is there anything unfair about that range of punishment?
I'm not real familiar with this, but I would feel that, the fact that he's never been in trouble before, that they could possibly give him closer to 15.
Okay.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is, given the nature of the activity, it's not unfair to see him going and doing prison time, right?
Right.
Okay. I mean, you're not happy about that.
No.
You wish there were another way, right?
Sure.
But you understand that him being punished this way it is fair and it's appropriate.
That's correct. Yes.
I'll pass witness.
Any questions? All right. Thank you so much for coming in.
To be honest, sometimes I actually have no idea what's going on until I open Monday.com. And
yes.
Lynn Warren.
All right, could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Do.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Wayne Moore.
All right, you may proceed, counsel.
Lynn, in looking at the PSI, it looks like you've never had any criminal history. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And so the first time you wind up in court is for something serious like this.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking at the PSI and it looks like you acknowledged guilt in this case.
I did. I am guilty.
And have you ever denied, since the time of the arrest, have you denied to me or anybody else that you were guilty?
No.
Yeah. Lynn, if you're a man of your age with no criminal history, how did you get yourself involved with this material?
I became addicted first to pornography, and it led to me going to more, as I chased what they call dopamine, something I've learned in my 12-step programs.
Okay.
I started doing more edgier and edgier stuff until I crossed the line.
Mhm.
And I just, once I did that, I got hooked on a very perverse medium, but it was the medium I was addicted to.
Right. And so there was some testimony that you worked as a speech pathologist.
That's correct.
And did you work with both adults and children?
I did.
Did you ever do anything inappropriate with any of those children?
I did not.
Did you ever do anything inappropriate with any of those adults?
Oh, I took care of them. I did nothing inappropriate with either one.
Okay. Never any complaints, or you were never fired from one of those jobs for anything inappropriate?
Sir.
Okay, so even though you were dealing with these addiction issues, thankfully it didn't spill out into the physical world.
That's correct.
Okay. Since the arrest, have you taken any measures to deal with your addiction?
I have. I've joined a 12-step program that's called SPAS, Sex and Porn Addicts Anonymous.
Okay, and so there are 12-step programs for those sorts of addictions.
There are.
Okay, and are they? And I'm not going to ask for anyone's identity, obviously, but are they sparsely attended, or are there actually significant amounts of people that are in them?
They sometimes have as many as over 70 people. They do a Zoom meeting.
Okay.
And the one I go to is on the West Coast.
Okay.
And it has a very good attendance. And, it helps us to kind of deal with the, just like the AA 12-step model.
Mm-hmm.
They lead us through how to find relief, or, to be able to
live without this.
Live with, to learn how to manage it and not let it rule my life.
Okay. And so in doing so, in these 12-step programs, they refer to staying away from these things as sobriety, correct?
Yes.
Okay, just like we talked about with drug and alcohol issues, the sobriety there.
Yes.
Okay. And to this point, how many days have you been sober?
I have well over 400 days of sobriety since I joined the SPA group. I had one relapse, and that was that violated their no self-love, no masturbation.
Okay. And then, so do you journal as part of that 12-step program?
I do, just to log it and to help keep me aware of how much sobriety I've obtained.
Okay. And to date, how many days have you been able to log?
It's over 400, 403 as of yesterday.
And Judge, I'm going to tender to the court, not for the reading of it, but just to substantiate that he's logged it.
Yes.
His journal that has 403 entries. So we're not asking I've checked with the state, we're not asking the court to read it, just to confirm he's done that. In addition to that 12-step program, have you seen a counselor?
I have.
Okay. And did we get a letter from that counselor?
Yes, I believe it was in the packet that I gave you, or that you gave to the court.
And that's what we tendered over to the court for the court's inspection?
I believe it was, yes. Yes, sir.
In addition to that, were there letters from people who know you?
There were longtime friends, and a gentleman who had been working with me on the 12-step programs.
Okay. And I would assume that you are appreciative that these people have stuck by your side.
I am. That's remarkable.
And I mean, you understand the gravity of this offense.
most definitely.
You understand why it's illegal.
I do.
And you're not saying that this is not a big deal or a victimless crime or anything to that effect, are you?
Not at all.
Um, you, as part of the deal and part of the conviction on this offense, you are going to have to be registered as a sex offender if and when you ever do leave prison.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you intend to keep up with your treatment and sobriety even after you're released?
Yes, sir.
And
I want to maintain sobriety. I don't want to ever go back into this at all.
okay, and it does look like the measures you've taken have helped you to maintain that.
They help me keep sober and keep my focus and not stray into perversity. And
okay. In addition to that treatment, what kind of health issues do you have?
I have diabetes, and I have some mild hypertension and occasional asthma and arthritis.
Okay. Are you on any kind of medications right now?
I have several medications that I take,
Okay.
both for diabetes and for my hypertension.
Okay, and all those are listed in the PSI, correct?
It should be, yes.
Okay. Now, Lynn, what are you asking the court to consider in this case?
I'm guilty, so I understand that there needs to be consequences for that, but I just ask that they be reasonable, that you take into the fact that this is my first offense. I've lived a good life. I've worked a good job, tried to take care of people who have disorders and help them to get better.
Okay. Let me stop you there. You've been on bond for quite a while in this case?
I have since February or March of last year, I think.
Okay. And we've had no bond violations or issues with that?
I'm sorry.
You've always showed up to court when you needed to?
I have shown up.
Okay.
Done my due diligence.
And so you're asking the court to consider something closer to the 15-year range?
I think that would be fair. That would be in keeping with what I've done.
But I mean, you understand that prison time is appropriate in this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I understand.
You're
There's
not-
a consequence for bad actions,
Okay.
for breaking the law.
I'll pass the witness.
Any questions?
Mr. Ryan, when did you start seeing a therapist for your issues?
Right after I was arrested, or they had searched my home, I realized that I was in trouble and I needed to take care of my problems. So I saw a therapist first just for emotional disorder, and then I was referred to a sex therapist, certified CSAT, I believe is what.
And when you were looking at this material, you said you started out with pornography, but then you started getting into other things, and that other things included child pornography, correct?
That's correct.
And when you were searching for this information on the internet, you had to learn all of the new terms and all of the ways to look this stuff up. It's not just widely available, right? You have to have the right terms, correct?
Well, you kind of have to know where to look, and the search parameters.
So you use Bing and Chrome on most of those searches?
Not Bing or Google or whatever the search engine was.
Among the things you searched for, that included sex tourism, child. Is that accurate?
I did look at that. Just to see what that was.
Pass the witness.
No other questions?
All right, thank you. I'll hear brief argument. State.
Judge, the content of this defendant's electronic devices, this wasn't minimal casual viewing. This wasn't a one-off. This was intentionally collecting material of not one child, not two children, hundreds of children. There were over 800 images identified, and a estimate of what was probably on that device was 1,200 images of child pornography. In addition to those images of child pornography that were found, tagged, and identified, when the officers searched his home, they identified a book that was signed, had something to the effect of someone with similar interests. It was titled The Bad Girl, and it described grooming and sexual abuse and exploitation of children. Judge, it's a horrendous offense. The punishment range is what it is for a reason. I would ask the court to follow the plea agreement sentence under the max 30 years.
All right, defense.
Judge, I mean, there's no excusing this behavior. And as Mr. Warren himself has told you, prison time is appropriate. But we do, I'd ask the court to consider the fact that he is pushing 70 years old. He has no previous history. He has health issues. And whatever the court gives him, the vast majority of his life expectancy is going to be spent in prison. The reality of it, Judge, is that we have people in this county that are on probation who have admitted to touching children. We have people deferred in this county who have engaged in possession of child pornography. And while that wouldn't be appropriate in Mr. Warren's case, we'd ask the court to consider the 15 years. I mean, 15 years is not 15 months. It's not a year. It's not probation. And it's an aggravated offense, so he's going to do the vast majority of that 15 years. Given the circumstances in this case, the fact that Mr. Warren very quickly after being discovered got into treatment, has stayed away from this, and has maintained his sobriety in this case, we're asking the court to consider giving him 15 years in this case.
All right. Mr. Moran, I want you to know that I've listened to everything that your attorney has said. I reviewed the documentation, and I think it's great that you're on the path that you're on, and I hope that you stay on the path. But this was a lot of images and a lot of searching for images. The court, as previously stated, is finding you guilty. The court is going to sentence you to the 30 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's a $5,000 fine, time and money to run concurrently. There'll be Chapter 62 registration. Did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Did you review the trial court certification?
Whether or not you have a right to appeal.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yeah.
All right.
Yes, yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you need an explanation of what that means, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right. Good luck to you. Okay.
Outsmart the
All right. Timothy Aaron Wald. Who's the attorney? All right, come forward, sir. So where are we on discovery?
Your Honor, this is a case that has, I mean, it's an older case, but it's finally got indicted. The government's made an offer of discovery. I'm having some difficulty downloading it because I moved to Corpus.
Mhm.
And I think from what we could tell from IT is because the IP address moved and the VPN that it doesn't allow it to come in. So we're still working with IT on it.
Mm-hmm.
In any event, the prosecutor is nice enough to say if I bring a hard drive or a disk that will the evidence on. I don't anticipate it's a law. It
shouldn't be too long, no. It'll,
Okay.
I can probably have it done in a day when he drops it off.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a reset date. We'll recall this in 45 days for a plea deadline date. All right. What date? All right, so we'll be back on November 10th. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Just have a seat. And once you sign the reset form, you'll be excused. All right, thank you. All right, Jorge Morales. Come forward. Hi, you were supposed to have an attorney?
Yes, ma'am, but I need a little bit more time because I need more money.
No. And let me just tell you why.
Yes, ma'am.
We've been waiting for you to hire an attorney and for a long time now. And
the case, I barely
there's
got
no-
it. I barely got it last month of the case.
No, here's the thing.
Yes, ma'am.
We cannot have a case out there forever because of you're waiting to hire an attorney. So
need a
just
little-
have a seat.
Okay.
And you're going to be interviewed for an attorney because you've had over 45 days to get an attorney. So just have a seat, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Alexis Hernandez. So how did your jury trial go?
About as well as a murder trial in Karnes City was gonna go, Judge.
Oh, and how far, I'm trying to learn the distance of all the counties. So how far is Karnes from here?
From downtown, it's about an hour. So you go to Wilson County, that's Floresville, it's about 35 minutes.
Mhm.
And then Karnes City's another 25 minutes past that. Yeah.
Okay.
You just keep going down the same freeway or highway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where are we on discovery?
I've been given discovery, where he and I need to review it together.
Okay.
But
And was the state able to tender an offer?
the state has tendered an offer. Yes, Judge.
All right, Norma, I need a reset date, 45 days. That will be your plea deadline date.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, so we'll be back on November 10th. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Just have a seat. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
All right, you're welcome. You say Jesse Garza?
Yes.
Jesse Emmanuel Garza? All right, and I believe this may be criminal trial division.
It is, Judge. He conferred and we're rejecting the plea bargain offer.
All right.
We're asking for a trial date.
One, I need to make sure that you all do a acknowledgement of discovery. And then how long do y'all expect this trial to last?
I think it's about 3 days.
All right, Norm, I need a jury trial date, 3 days. Good morning.
Good morning, Judge.
Yeah. Thank you for dressing. You're dressed very appropriate for court. Thank you so much. All right, November 10th.
Yes, Judge.
All right, so we'll be back here on November 10th. What I can tell you about jury trial dates, there's going to be more than one person set for jury trial. The reason why that happens is because sometimes there's a new offer that's tendered and maybe it's accepted. And if I didn't have more than one person scheduled for jury trial, then we lose that whole day. So I don't believe that you are number one, but you'll be on the list. So if other cases work out and we get to you, we'll get to you. All right. All right. Just have a seat. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. And counsel, if you can make sure you sign the acknowledgement of discovery.
I will, Judge.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. We'll have the same announcement on Mr. Pettis, so I'll make sure we have more.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
All right. You too. Thank you. Emmanuel Perez.
She's present in custody.
All right. And state on that one as well.
Discovery.
All right. Thank you. All right. Mr. Emmanuel Perez, if you'll come down, please. And on this one as well, are you asking for a jury trial?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, do you want this state?
Yes, Judge.
He's going to be asking for a jury trial on this as well. Is it too much to have it on the same date as this other client?
No.
All right, Norma, are you able to put this on the November 10th as well? All right, so your jury trial date will be November 10th. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. And the same thing that I told the other gentleman applies. You'll be in line for jury trial that day, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank
you. Adrian Hernandez? All right. So where are we on discovery?
So here's what's going on. The MTR is actually the case that's set today. Then there are 4 additional cases that were newly indicted that they just brought the files down on. I'm asking the court for a reset so that I can get through and see if we have all the discovery that we need on all 4 of the kind of heavy-hitting cases, and then see if I can't work it out in some way with the prosecutors.
All right, could I see the motion to revoke, please? And is that the evading? Thank you. That's okay, I have it.
It's mostly the new number ones, but there are a couple of drug violations, but mostly new number ones.
And these are criminal trial division?
Yes, they're all criminal trial division.
Okay. Who is the prosecutor on Isaac Hernandez? All right, so with regards to the number ones that are in the motion to revoke, do you know if you have all the discovery, or is there maybe something outstanding?
I think there may be a couple of things outstanding. They are indicted, but you know how that goes around here. So I was looking at them today. I think there are a couple of things that were missing. So I was hoping to reach out to the arresting agency and then get with Ms. Christian to get her a global offer to proceed.
All right, so how much time are you all asking for?
I'd say 45 days if we could.
Okay. Then this is what I'm going to do. Ms. Abrams, I'm going to set this for 45 days. And then if an agreement is not reached, I'll need to set the motion to revoke because it just can't be hanging out there forever.
Understood, Judge.
All right, so it's going to be recalled in 45 days, but that's not going to be a contested. All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 45-day reset. It'll be for discovery.
Yes.
All right, so we'll be back on November 10th. That's for your attorney to get the discovery on the allegations and the motion to revoke. And counsel, you're appointed on all of those cases?
I am, Judge.
All right. All right, we'll see you on November 10th.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
You're welcome. Chase Anthony Lopez. All right, so the last time we were here, there was a request for the EMS records. Do you have those?
We received those, Your Honor. We reviewed them and been made an offer by the state that is open until the next setting. We would like to set this for a plea deadline if the court is inclined to do so.
How old are you?
28.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 3-week reset for a plea deadline date, please. All right, it'll be October 16th. And state on Chase Anthony Lopez, if I can get an acknowledgement of discovery, please. All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. You're excused as soon as you sign the reset form. Just have a seat and your attorney will bring that to you. And please do not leave without signing the acknowledgement of discovery.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thanks. Are you all ready to proceed on the motion to revoke on Mark Anthony Pettis? All right, the court is calling 2024 CR 2594 State versus Mark Anthony Pettis. Can I have parties announced?
Rick Payne for the state of Texas.
Michael Dwight Goins as a defendant, Your Honor.
And are you Mark Anthony Pettis?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Mark Anthony Pettis who was placed on community supervision in 2024 CR 2594 for the offense of injury to the elderly bodily injury on May 28, 2024 for a term of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. Violation of condition number 41. On or about the 14th day of August, 2025 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Mark Anthony Pettis, did then and there fail to comply with the rules and regulations of the felony drug court and violation of condition number 41.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True, Your Honor. State will waive the other violation, Your Honor.
No objection, Your Honor. Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition 41, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 2 years in the prison?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 41?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find condition of violation number 41 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor.
Yes.
That is to revoke the defendant's probation and sentence him to 2 years TDC.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. Are you asking the court to follow that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes.
All right. The court will grant the motion, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, and there's to be no contact with Juan Pettis,
Yes, ma'am.
and there's to be no residing with minors.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement and you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction and an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. You're going to have to do better. Otherwise, you're going to end up in and out of prison. And you're still not allowed to have contact with that person that I named. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And that means no indirect contact. That means no calling somebody else to contact that person for you. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's as though you don't even know them. All right? All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, counsel.
Excuse, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
When I started my
All right, Ernest Gonzalez. All right, yes, Miss Abrams.
So this is a compliance hearing. Do you have a copy of the supplemental report?
Yes.
Okay, so, in the supplemental report, there has been concerns in regards to Mr. Gonzalez's use of alcohol. And, some failed to submit into his ignition interlock device. I spoke with Mr. Gonzalez and he has a couple of reasons that he would like to share with the court. And, I do have a couple of recommendations.
All right, so what would you like to share with me?
They were asking, why there was some periods where I didn't have any tests.
Okay, so whenever you speak to me, you need to look me in the eye so I can read whether or not you're being honest with me, all right?
Okay, yes, ma'am.
So what's going on with you?
So there was an instance where I got into a vehicle collision when I was at work. I deliver mail for the postal service, and those vehicles are.
Okay, I can't hear you. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. Do I need to get?
Everyone, please whisper. No, you're sort of mumbling a little bit.
I'm sorry. I don't know if I know. Yeah. So anyway, there was a medical issue that I had a procedure done, so I wasn't using my vehicle for a while, and then there was an instance there where they had ripped off my catalytic converters to my vehicle, so I had to send the vehicle in and.
So that's the reasons for you not testing into the vehicle.
Yeah, because there was a couple windows there that she was asking me about that I didn't have tests for.
Explain the alcohol use though.
I just got careless, I don't know how else to describe it. I've been on the program for a while and I just.
So here's my question.
Yes, ma'am.
One, did you call probation and tell them you had a accident and somebody stole your catalytic converter?
No.
Did you call them and say, I'm not going to be testing because here's the reason I'm not testing?
No, Your Honor, I didn't.
So you're on probation. And when you don't do things, what ends up happening is motions to revoke are filed. Now, some judges, they would have looked at this and they would have just said, file a motion to revoke. And then you would have been taken into custody. Either you would have made bond or you would not have been able to make bond. And then from that, maybe you lose your job, which I don't think you want to lose your job. So the actions that you are taking are not good actions. They're not telling me that you want to successfully complete probation. So far, what you're telling me is you want to be revoked.
I hope I'm not giving you.
No, that's what I'm getting, because you're not staying in contact with probation and you're drinking alcohol. Here's the thing, whether or not you are on probation, it could be for anything. It could have absolutely nothing to do with alcohol, right? Let's say it's a theft case, has absolutely nothing to do with alcohol. You never use drugs, whatever it may be. According to the law in Texas, when you're on probation, you're not allowed to drink alcohol, period. And there's something going on with you. That's the reason why you're on ignition interlock.
That's right.
So what I'm going to tell you is, if you don't follow these rules, there may not be any more compliance hearings for you. There may just be a submission of a motion to revoke. If it's in order, I'm going to sign it and they will pick you up wherever you may be. And then we will hear your case. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. What are you suggesting?
Judge, what I am suggesting is an increase in his test windows for the ignition and interlock device. Currently, I believe he's testing 3 times a day. I would ask that be increased to 5 times a day. Weekly drug tests for 30 to 45 days. And an extension of the device for however long the court mandates.
Just give me one moment. Let me find this.
The fact is, we've come here right now. Millions of us.
And I'm sorry, you wanted weekly drug testing for how long?
30 to 45 days, Judge.
All right, and then what else are you asking for?
Judge, in reviewing his file, I did notice a tap was completed and amended conditions were signed for him to go through the intensive outpatient treatment, monthly UAs and sober support meetings. In reviewing the file, I don't see that he has been placed in the treatment or a referral has been sent. So I would also recommend intensive outpatient treatment.
All right, is there anything else? All right, so we're gonna try this and see how it works with you. If there are issues, you need to contact probation because you're looking at potentially, just one moment. Yaya, I'm printing something over there. If you could grab it for me, please. You're looking at potentially 2 years in the state jail facility for what you're charged with. And when you go to the state jail facility, that's day for day time. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
In order to be successful on probation in this court, communication is key. If you do not follow through, a motion to revoke is going to be filed. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right. Do better. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Is this a motion to revoke?
No, Judge, it's a motion for early termination.
All right. Could I see, let me see what I have.
Have this from the shop.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Who is the person on this?
Ashley Jones for the state, Your Honor.
All right. The court is calling 2024 CR 012991W State versus Kiska Stewart. Could I have parties announced?
Ashley Jones for the state. Lindsay Shop and Ms. Stewart.
And are you Ms. Stewart?
I am.
All right, we are here. Defense has filed a motion to terminate community supervision. According to this, the defendant has been placed on community supervision since December 19th, 2024, and it was for a period of 18 months. State, are you in agreement?
We are not, Your Honor, just based on the offense and the amount of time.
All right.
Yes, Judge. So this was a case, it's out of your court, but it was reduced to a misdemeanor. She was placed on deferred adjudication for 18 months. So as of today, she's been on nearly 10 months. Even since the supplemental report that you're looking at was completed, she has completed her community service hours. I provided the state a copy of her donation that she made to the Texas Advocacy Project for $309. She's completed her BIP. She has now completed her community service. As you can see, there's been no concerns of her violating any no contact or no harmful or injurious contact orders. She's up to date on her fees. We're asking the court, she has a young child and she's trying to go to school, cosmetology school. And since she has been on more than half of the term, we're asking the court to consider our request for early termination.
And we're sure this is shocking for many of you that have been just hearing the news.
All right, this is what I can tell you. I will strongly consider terminating you on December, because December, that will put you at a year. And what I would like is I would like the complainant to be contacted, to be notified. If you have no violations and everything is fine, December, I will terminate her.
Could I?
Sure.
So if this, not only the BIP, I've also completed VENT program through the Peace Initiative, as well as the fatherhood campaign. Being able to get off early would give me the opportunity to renew my Texas insurance license, my health and life insurance. With Medicare coming up, that is a huge opportunity, not only for me, but for my son to be able to provide for him. Open enrollment ends December, so if I could get that license.
When you say it ends December, what date does it end in December?
So it starts October 15th and I believe it ends December 1st. So there's that 2-month period and maybe the 31st. But there's a.
All right, if somebody bring me proof that it ends at the beginning of December, because I'm not sure if it ends at the beginning of December. If y'all bring me proof of that, then I will consider early termination in November. But what I need is this is what I want you to take away from today. If there are no violations, state, you're going to have to reach out to the complainant and let them know that in November, if there are no violations, and if there's proof that early enrollment ends December 1st, then she's going to be terminated in November.
Yes, Your Honor.
If early enrollment doesn't end December 1st, if it's at the end of December, December 19th, if that's during the week, she's going to be terminated if there are no violations.
Yes, sir. Is that okay, Judge? So will I need to file another motion or the court will terminate?
No, it will be done automatically.
Okay.
So the only thing probation will need to provide to me in November, Ms. Abrams, is that there have been no violations. You won't even need to appear. The state will have plenty of time to have contacted the complainant to let them know that your probation will be terminated.
Sorry. I will also say with this, it is my son's father and we're also going through a custody battle right now. So with warning him, this might be ammunition to,
Here's the thing. Let me just tell you. I understand. I've done CPS cases. I've done family violence cases. I understand when there are custody issues. This is what I'm telling you. If there are no violations, you're going to be terminated. The only issue with the court now is like the length of time. And I do realize that cases don't come to felony court as misdemeanors. I only handle felonies. So this tells me that this case was something else. And then it was pled down maybe to a misdemeanor. So what I'm telling you is if there are no violations, no report from probation that there are any issues, your attorney won't have to come in and file a new motion. You won't have to come in. Probation will submit to me the early termination and I will sign it. And they're going to have to reach out to the complainant because anytime I do early termination, whatever the termination it is, even if it's a theft case, I let the complainant know. I don't. I want the complainant to know so there won't be any issues if somebody sees someone. Because then that sometimes will result in new cases being filed, and I don't want that to happen. Okay.
Judge, can I have a date, November?
Let me look at the calendar here. Let's do, Norma, what date do you want in November? We can do the middle of November. Of course, I want it before Thanksgiving. All right, November 17th. And then if you want to stop in, Lindsay, you can stop in, but Ms. Abrams will give it to me and I will sign it if there are no violations.
Yes.
So whether it's signed or not is 100% dependent upon you. Okay. If there are no violations, and by no violations, I mean no positive UAs without prescription. If there's a no contact order, then no contact. If there's a no harmful or injurious order, no harmful or injurious order. No picking up any new cases. And then you won't have to come in on that day unless your attorney wants you in that day.
Yes, Judge.
All right. Is there anything else?
Yes, no, ma'am. Thank you.
And it's in my notes, so I know what I said. But my mind is a steel trap, so I'll remember it anyway.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much for addressing it appropriately for court. All right. So on this case, where are we on? Let me see. Discovery. Do you have the body cameras and the statements? Oh, hi.
Quick, sorry. Hey, Judge.
Yes.
So
defense counsel did provide me a USB for 3 outstanding videos she can't download. I'm working on getting those downloaded now, and hopefully we'll have it within the next day or so to email defense that it's ready.
Okay.
There is a few pieces that I believe we have missing from our discovery that I have requested from the detective. And I also left him a message, but he hasn't got back to me yet. So I would just ask if the court would grant us one more discovery hearing to.
All right. So do you know what discovery it is you think is missing?
Yes.
Yes. And what is that?
It is an interview with Mr. Pearson. I do need clarification regarding 3 video statements he had with neighbors. I do have 3 videos with him, but because the audio doesn't start until after he's made contact, I need him to tell me who those people are in his video. So there's 3 of those. And then any potential investigation they did regarding a projectile report, if that's in existence.
Okay.
And then those 3 body worn cameras that I need to download.
Okay.
Does that sound good? Yes. Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. I need on this case for discovery. Let's put this at 45 days. That will be the last discovery date. And state in 45 days, you need to be prepared to tender an offer. All right, November 10th?
That works.
November 10th?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, just have a seat. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
You're saying Jorge Morales?
Yeah.
All right, Jorge Morales. Hello, I know you were recently appointed, so.
I just need 30 days, Judge. He'd like me to look at the videos. So if we could get a 30-day reset.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 30-day reset on Mr. Morales, and we'll say it's for discovery. And state on Morales, an offer will be due in 30 days.
Got it.
All right, once you sign, just have a seat. Once you sign the reset form, you'll be excused, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Michelle Battles. Good morning. How's it going?
How's it going, Judge?
Oh, great. I cannot complain. Oh, counsel, you're on this side. The deputies put everybody there for security reasons. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. I really do appreciate that. All right, so where are we on discovery?
We're working on it, Judge. Let me just give you a quick background. Mr. Science was supposedly on the case, and then he wasn't on the case. And he has represented Ms. Bettles before. So I had done a bond for him. And they could not work out an agreement. So she comes back to me with clearance from Mr. Science that it was okay if I took over. And that does happen like a little bit over a week ago.
Okay.
So now I'm getting all the discovery, doing everything that needs to be done, videos and everything. We did get a BRAC bag. So that was the starting point, but we're just in the beginning. We've been on it for maybe 7 or 8 days.
All right, so your final discovery is going to be in 30 days. State?
Yes.
On Michelle Battles, I'll need an offer, you to be prepared to tender an offer in 30 days.
Yes.
Ms. Ferguson, I need a 30-day reset for discovery. All right, so October 27th.
That's fine, Judge.
All right, so just have a seat and your attorney will bring the reset form to you. Once you sign that, you're excused. So what's going to happen on October 27th? Your attorney should have all the discovery and the state is going to tender an offer. And once they tender that offer, your next setting is going to be a plea deadline date. Understand? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and then we also have, yes?
Yes, ma'am. We had we were contesting the restitution. We actually have an agreement that we would like to put on the record, so we no longer have a contested hearing on that. It should be much shorter.
All right. And so what is the agreed?
It'll be $7,300 agreed to Zua.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, how's it going?
Good, and you, Judge?
Oh, I'm doing great. All right, the court is calling 2024 CR 6325 State versus Luis Alec Martinez. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Lauren Espinoza for the state.
Joseph Davidson for Luis Alec Martinez.
And are you Luis Alec Martinez? We have an interpreter If you could raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Cesar Chavez, license number 2203.
All right. So we are here for sentencing, and there was also an issue with regards to restitution. The defendant agreed that he owed a restitution amount to Juvenile Flores in the amount of $17,240.80. The restitution amount to Jesus Zua was previously not agreed to. It's the court's understanding that agreement has been reached in the amount that's owed for restitution to Jesus Zua. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that amount?
That amount is going to be $7,300.
All right. And the person before me, is that Jesus Zua?
That is Mr. Jesus Swaswa.
Swaswa.
Yes, ma'am.
See, I'm saying Zua because
I said Zua.
you're supposed to help me. I'm trying to learn. All right. Could you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Jesus Guadalupe Suazua Mantos.
Jesus Guadalupe Suazua Maltos.
All right. And I'm sorry, the last name?
Suazua. Jesus Suazua.
But he had said something.
Mantos.
Maltos.
Maltos. All right. So both parties said that they're in agreement with a restitution amount of $7,300. Do you agree that that is the restitution amount that is owed to you?
Sí.
Yes.
All right. Any other questions?
No questions.
Nothing from the state.
All right. Thank you. You may be excused. And I don't know if they'll continue to need you for the sentencing,
Not for my clients.
but I mean for Mr.
Suazua Maltos. Do you
Yeah.
want him to hear the sentence?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, then I'll stay.
Would you like that state? Okay.
Okay.
All
You
right.
want me to stay here?
You can
I
stay.
can
Yes.
sit back there.
All right. Thank you.
Last one.
Your day-to-day covered with Base 44.
All right. So now, with regards to restitution, the court's issue is, has any of this been paid?
There were upfront restitutions made in the amount of $300, which were money orders cleared. Aside from that, that was previously made prior to signing the plea paperwork. Since then, my client's been trying to save money, and one potential, well, not a potential, but one issue is that he believes he was wrongfully discharged from his
All
position.
right, just 1 second. Everyone, we are on the record. Whisper.
I believe he was wrongfully discharged from his position as a contractor where the general contractor may have fired him, and he's disputing money that's owed to him. He was not able to get money from his employer, so he could not pay his contractors. And he has a civil suit that he's hoping to recover some damages that could apply towards any restitution. In the meantime, if I may call him to.
All right, so just 1 second. So you're saying so far of the restitution amount that he owes, how much is he paid?
$300 to Juvenile Flores and $300 to Jesus Zuazua.
So he's paid $600 total.
Yes. Technically, there were other payments made to 2 additional people. However, they did not appear for the restitution was waived for those 2. So he had paid $1,200.
All right, so that leaves a balance to the remaining 2 complainants of $23,940.30. So the question becomes, how is he ever going to pay this?
He's employed, he's working, he has a job, he plans on making monthly payments. And if I may make.
Yes. Call your witness.
If I may call my client, Mr. Martinez, to the stand.
Could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
No.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Luis Alec Martinez.
May I inquire?
Yes.
Mr. Martinez, are you currently employed?
Yes.
Do you have the ability to make some restitution payments?
Yes.
The time period to make these payments, so they're not drawn out within 30 days, are you able to make a lump sum payment to two individuals, Mr. Flores and Mr. Zua, and in what amount to each one within 30 days?
Within 30 days, I could do 1,000, and then I'd be comfortable doing $500 to $600 a month.
All right, so are you going to be able to pay? Well, when will you say that you're able to pay the $1,000?
If about 30 days, if October 31st, end of October,
Yeah.
There's the last Friday, perhaps in October.
What date is that?
That's actually Halloween. The courthouse should be open October 31st.
So are you able to make a payment of $1,000 October 31st?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and then after that payment, how much are you going to be able to pay per month?
I'd be comfortable with $500 or $600 a month.
And would that be, just so that it's not a overly burden, I want to make sure I understand. Is that, if it's 500 a month, is that 250 and 250? Or is it 500, 500? It's 500 total, correct?
Yeah, it'd be 500 total, because I think doing the calcs, I think that kind of works out for a 4 or 5 year period, I think. And then obviously if I win when I collect the damages from the suit, I would pay that off entirely.
And if you did come across additional income or had supplemental income, you would be able to pay it off sooner?
Yes.
And you understand that if, aside from the regular conditions of probation, aside from other reporting and classes you would have to do community service, if you don't make payments, you understand the court could revoke your supervision and you have a motion to revoke probation filed if you don't make these payments?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, any questions?
None from the state, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Abrams, are you ready?
Is this on cost any three watch?
Yes.
Right.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 5 years deferred adjudication. The amount of restitution owed to Mr. Flores was $17,240.80. The amount owed to Jesus Swaswa is $7,300. And the last name for that complainant is Zuazua. First name, Jesus. The complainant who's owed approximately $17,240.80. The first name is Juvenal. Last name, Flores. The defense has told me that the defendant has already made some payment amounts. So the total balance that will be due is $23,940.80. The defendant agrees to make a payment of $1,000 no later than October 31st, 2025. That $1,000 is to be split evenly between both complainants. Thereafter, the defendant will make a payment of $500 per month at the end of each month.
I got these patches.
And that is to be split evenly between both complainants. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment within 45 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors, field visits one time per month for 3 months, There is to be no contact with Jesus Ramirez, Jacob Soto, Jesus
Zwa.
Swaswa, Juvenile Flores. There's to be 100 hours of community service restitution. That will be deemed satisfied upon the life skills course or some type of business course. I'm sorry, not the life skills course or business course, but a money management course. Probation, is there anything else?
I just need a couple of things clarified. Can you spell Mr. Flores' name again?
Juv as in Victor, EN as in Nancy, AL. Last name Flores.
Okay, and then there were numbers given, so I need clarification on what's due after he's already paid what he's paid.
All right. So
I know $23,940.08, but how much did Mr. Flores and how much did Mr. Lockdown?
all right. So on Mr. Flores, the total amount due was $17,240.80. It's the court's understanding he's already paid $300 towards that.
Correct.
So there will be $300 minus the 17,000.
Your Honor, my understanding was that was the amount after the 300 paid, because the initial amount was,
I may have misspoken. And so
yeah, that is after the 300 already.
All right, so correction, probation, the amount due to Mr. Flores is $17,240.80. And that includes the $300 deducted.
Okay.
The amount due to Mr. Swaswa, I'm going to get it right. The amount due to Mr. Swaswa after the $300 has already been paid is $7,300.
Yeah. Okay.
we agreed to 7,300 is already paid again. Our understanding is that we agreed to 7,300, but he's already paid 300. We're asking credit for the $500.
All right, so the amount then due him is $7,000. Is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
Just if we could get probation moved to Tarrant County where I currently reside.
All right, and there's to be a transfer to Tarrant County.
Additionally, with the construction business he has, in the event that he has to do job work.
All right, and the defendant is allowed to work throughout Texas.
Thank you, Judge. And if he has to travel out of state, would you allow him to notify his probation officer with some type of pre-approval as long as he gives them sufficient
Yes.
notice? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, is there anything else?
Nothing from the state.
I don't believe there was a fine. I made, unless I missed it out.
There's a zero fine.
Thank you, Judge. Nothing further.
All right. Mr. Martinez, did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Is this one? Yes.
Okay, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Sure.
All right, good luck to you. Just remain in the courtroom and probation will go over conditions with you.
Thank you,
Judge.
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
Oh, just give me, no, just one moment. Let me fill this in.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
All right, Richard Hernandez. Good morning. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
All right, so how's everything going with PTD?
So we submitted our conflict this morning.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a PTD date. All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. We'll have you back here on October 27th. All right, once you sign the reset form, You're excused. Just follow through on everything, okay? Thank you. Luis Flores.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. How's it going?
I'm all right. How you been?
I'm doing great. Hey, life is beautiful. We're all currently alive.
Well, that's what one of the security said one time when they had Adam. How was that doing that day?
We have our health,
Told
right?
me the same thing. She said you better be glad you're still be able to come to the courthouse. I'm like, you're right. You're right.
All right. So today is plea deadline date. What's happening?
Judge, it is, and we had a special request. He wants to accept the plea, wants to enter the plea, but his wife is going to need surgery on her eyes as she is going blind.
Mhm.
He wants the 30 days to enter the plea so he can settle up with her affairs, get her to her appointments.
Is the plea for time?
No, it's for probation.
Where we can take the plea today?
And we set off, I guess, sentencing, or wouldn't do the whole thing either.
Sure.
What he decides.
All right. So just complete the plea paperwork.
Okay, so we can't get no consideration.
I don't believe in kicking the cans down the road. I'm here, you're here.
All right.
I feel like class times at Richmond High. I'm here, Mr. Hand, you're here, we're here.
I don't think Spicoli
Isn't
was
it our
actually
time,
there.
right?
But thank you anyway.
All right, thank you. All right, John Daggett, who's your client?
Daniel Ramos Balderos.
I'm sorry, who?
Daniel Ramos Balderos. He is currently
What is his name? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Balderos. Daniel Ramos Balderos.
Okay. All right, have you had a chance to confer with the state?
I have not, ma'am.
All right, state, is someone from the state able to zoom in? He's requesting a bond. I don't know if you all are aware of this. All right, just give us a moment. The state is going to review everything.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Mr. Daggett, if you have your phone, the state can call you.
Yes.
All right,
Yes,
who else
ma'am.
is ready? Joshua Gonzalez. All right, today is plea deadline date. Is this going to be a jury trial or is this going to be an agreement?
Judge, I have to make an announcement, and
Yes.
this is the case I was hired on last week.
Mhm.
Most of the videos wouldn't open. I gave the prosecutor my flash drive a couple days ago, and it is not ready yet. They don't have enough information to advise Mr. Gonzalez whether he should accept the plea or not. So we were going to ask the court to reset this to give you a chance to see those videos.
All right, Norma, recall this for October 2nd. That is your final plea deadline date. The court will not extend any further.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, who's here on Lamar Simmons? Thank you. I just noticed your leg. What happened?
Broken toe. I was walking on it Monday, Tuesday, not knowing it was broken.
Oh, wow. Court.
Nothing exciting.
Okay. Court is calling 2025 CR 006-994, State versus Lamar Simmons. Can I have parties announced?
For the state.
The attorney record is Joanne de Hoyos. Joseph Stateson covering for Joanne de Hoyos. She is on vacation.
All right. Do you have any objections to this attorney standing in for Joanne de Hoyos? Counsel, you received all discovery. Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor. And I know that we've been here a few times, some back and forth negotiations. And I just want to make sure that Mr. Simmons has received an offer that accepted truly and wants to go forward with this plea. That's correct, Mr. Simmons?
Yes.
All right. Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it, sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
You're charged with an unauthorized use of a vehicle. That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses, the state would call them the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you any defenses to this offense?
He has, we've discussed it, and we feel comfortable going forward today.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Simmons, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, placed you in fear, or forced you to enter this plea?
No,
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
no,
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
yeah,
Did you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering this plea, you can be deported, not allowed to re-enter the United States, and denied naturalization?
yes,
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
yes,
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 60 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244. There's a $700 fine and no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea?
yes,
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor. If I may add something at the appropriate time.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
yes,
By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
yes,
Counsel, are there any such motions?
None.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead?
guilty.
State
No
any,
contest.
Your Honor,
No
I'm sorry.
contest.
Yes, no contest, Your Honor.
all right, state any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. Offer States Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
No objection.
Did you, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes,
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses? The state would call in the right to remain silent.
yes,
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
yes,
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor, we wish to waive PSI.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, I would ask that you follow the agreement. Mr. Simmons did indicate that he wanted the credit for time served. I know that it's very customary for judges to order that. I was hoping that you could order it and have it reflected on the plea bargain page or on the judgment. He has 10 actual days, credit for all 10 days. And I told him that you're not authorized to give 2-for-1 credit. I know that the jail has their own policy. That's up to the jail for any calculations. But we ask that you follow the 60-day agreements. You don't go outside that, and all credit for time served and time money run concurrent.
Base 44 super agents. The next thing you can't live.
All right, the court will, as previously stated, the court is going to follow your agreement. The court will sentence you to 60 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244. There's a $700 fine, time and money to run concurrent, and court will give you credit for any time served. And so if you have 10 days credit, you'll receive 10 days credit. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
yes,
All right, because it's a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what I can tell, we're off the record. So what I can tell you is the clerks will put into the system the number of days that you'll receive credit for. And as your attorney told you, I'm not responsible, or I can't make the sheriff's department give you 2-for-1 or 3-for-1. That's completely up to them. What I can tell you is, in subtracting the 10 days that you've already served, the most you will serve is 50 days. Do you understand?
yeah, so the 2-for-1. Right?
Well, the jail will calculate that.
What I can tell you is normally at the jail, if you're in general population and you do not cause any issues, you automatically receive 2 days for every day you serve. If you become a trustee, then you receive 3 days for every day that you serve.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Charles Mullinex. All right, today is plea deadline date. Have you all reached an agreement or is this going to be a jury trial?
Your Honor, there is no agreement. There is a new offense and I believe state has some motions.
Yes, Your Honor. State filed a motion to increase bond in each of the theft offenses in this court.
All right, could I see the motions? Are you ready to proceed on the motions, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right,
Do you need?
they should have them. If you have copies, I'll take them. Is there going to be any objection to the increase in bond?
Just some argument, Your Honor.
All right,
Here's two. Let me grab the last one. I just need another
thank
hand.
you.
They're all, I'm so sorry. They're all the same.
All right, the court is calling 2025 CR 0000524, 2025 CR 0000525, 2025 CR 00256, State versus Charles Mullinex. Could I have parties announced?
Lauren Espinoza for the state.
Victoria Cruz on behalf of Raymond Martinez for the defense.
All right, so the state has filed motions to increase bond in each of the cause numbers. Is that correct, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are there going to be witnesses presented?
No, Your Honor.
And defense, do you have any objection to witnesses not being presented?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then I'll hear argument.
Your Honor, Mr. Molinax was here for a bond hearing on, I believe, the 16th, at which Judge Angelini agreed to set bonds in each of these in each of these cases at $4,000. Not long after that hearing on the 20th, Mr. Molinax picked up a new offense, so we would ask that the judge, or this court, excuse me, double the bonds in each case, as well as amend the conditions and add GPS monitoring in each of the class numbers.
Brief response, Your Honor.
Yes.
No objection to the GPS. However, we would request that the court consider leaving those bond amounts. They are more than one, and the new offense in question is, there's some factual issues that we would argue aren't a black and white case. There is its own bond amount for this new felon in possession, and Mr. Molinax does have significant time in custody. We are not retained on the felon in possession yet, and we don't have any bonds that are being posted on the new case.
All right, and can I see the third motion?
Which cause number, Your Honor, so I can
I have 24 and 25.
Let me just print 8-6 as well. I apologize.
All right, this is what the court is going to. And each cause number, the court will grant the state's motion. Bond in each cause number will be increased to $8,000. In each cause number, the court is going to order full GPS, waive fees, and the plea deadline date is extended to October 2nd, and it will not be extended further. Is there anything else?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Not from defense, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
May we be excused for
Yes.
now? Thank you.
Have a good one.
We'll call your mom.
When I used to think about taxes, I would just
All right, Ashley Medina.
Hello. Good. How are you?
All right, how are you doing?
A lot better. Working on a lot of things. So.
All right. Well, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Thank you.
Judge, I asked for a court summary in addition to the supplemental report, so you'll find the court summary a couple of pages back from that supplemental report. We're here today, Judge, to put it just simply, Ms. Medina needs help. We know that there's a drug issue and mental health issues, and she needs help.
Okay.
Supplemental report kind of gives you an outline of what's been going on. I believe the court summary will give a little bit more information. After you've reviewed it, I do recommend, possibly a felony drug court referral.
Hmm.
And if not accepted into felony drug court, going with the recommendations that the officer has.
All right.
Miss,
Could I see, the file? Do you have a file? She's not on deferred adjudication. What's her underlying on this?
2 years.
All right. Oh, then I don't need the file.
I do start a new job tomorrow. I just want to throw that out there as well. And I have reached out to sober living communities as well to just like very much. I am wanting help, so I have 2 different places. I have, like I said, the job I started for ready to work with the orientation for college to get a higher degree. The job I'm gonna get has benefits. I'm finishing IOP with Miss Mitchell. I'm working with JG Wentworth to fix my credit and get that going because I need to buy a house for my daughter. The sober living, like I said, it just looks like a good idea to have that support system and team that I don't have. So I'm looking towards that. I'm awaiting some parenting classes that I'm looking for still actively. I own the breathalyzer, but that's because I haven't had a steady job. But like I said, I'm starting this one tomorrow. That's $16.50 an hour with benefits and stability that I crave and need. So, and I've been attending any meetings and just kind of trying to get things in track. It's just I need that extra support, which is why I reached out to sober living.
Okay, so here's the thing. I appreciate that you understand that you have issues that you need help with.
Right.
We're trying to help you. That's why I set this for a compliance hearing, right? So what I've discovered is sometimes people can't write their own plans.
Right. Yes.
Because if they
Well, it's
could,
not working.
we wouldn't even be here, right?
Right. Exactly.
So I think the best place for you is I'm going to do a referral to felony drug court. Felony drug court, you need to make sure you meet all of their meetings. You need to be honest with them.
Right.
Now, everything that you've told me that you're working on,
Yeah.
they will be able to help you with that.
Okay, great.
They'll be able to help you with sober living. If there's a credit issue, they have a course where they have somebody who will come in, talk to you to help you with that.
Yeah, that's my goal. I want to buy my daughter a house. Like I'm really trying to change. Like I want to. But when I went to the mental health assessment you required yesterday, I think it was. Or the day before, they, I told him, he was like, "Oh, so you want help?" And I'm like, "I actually do want help." So it's just been hard.
Good.
Yeah, it's been hard, but I'm ready.
All right, that's awesome. And we're gonna do what we can to help you because probation wants you to be successful. I want you to be successful.
I also do, for my daughter and for you as well. You've been, I know you've been tough on me because you see it in me, what I should be doing. So I appreciate that. And I'm just want to be able to, fulfill that.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a referral to felony drug court. Probation, if for any reason felony drug court does not accept her, if you can have her brought back here, and then we're going to work on other things. And if you could send.
I would like to ask if the felony drug court can expedite.
Yes. All right. So we'll see if felony drug court can expedite this as well.
Right. Yeah, I think I said.
So maybe see if she has transportation. Maybe if they're available to see her today or something.
Yeah, I don't have public. I use public transportation. Like I said,
well, I can tell you, felony drug court. It is downtown near the Bexar County Jail.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, I can. Yeah. But like I said, the job that I'm going to start is going to be from Tuesday to Saturday, so about Sunday, Monday.
So here's the thing, with regards to employment, just let them know about that. But your main focus should be your sobriety, okay?
Of course, yeah. And I feel like having the job will keep me, like it always has kept me more like, just not even worried about anything else, So.
All right, so we're going to do a referral to felony drug court. And I'll ask that it be expedited.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
You're welcome, and continue to reach out, okay?
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
You're welcome. Butler? Are you all ready to proceed on the motion?
No, Your Honor, we're going to ask for a short reset. There's 2 cases that popped up that I didn't know about that haven't been filed yet. And
what are these new cases? Is that the drug possession?
No, Your Honor. It's still, they're not in the court system. One is a theft of a vehicle, and the other one is an evading arrest. So I'm asking for a little bit of time to look at the discovery on it. I spoke with the state. It looks like they have everything. I gave them an external hard drive to download for me. So I just need.
How much time are you asking for?
10 days ago.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need this recall back in 10 days. And is this going to be a contested hearing?
I don't believe so.
All right, recall for 10 days. All right, October 7th, that's when we'll be back.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
One quick question, Your Honor.
Yes.
Today, would you entertain a bond for this NPR?
You'll need to speak with the state and see if they're ready to proceed on it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. If you want to speak to the state, they can see about maybe recalling her for tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
You don't have an afternoon docket, right?
We're in jury trial. Yeah, that's why.
Okay, just because I'm gonna be in a different county in the morning, so.
If you want to do it by Zoom, you're more than welcome to Zoom in.
Okay.
But you'll need to make sure you file your motion, okay?
Absolutely, thank you.
And just confer with the state beforehand.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Yes. All right. Willie Contreras.
There's a problem.
All right, and where is he?
He is right here.
Judge.
So are we proceeding on the motion to revoke?
Judge, we would ask if the court would consider granting us one more continuance. We'd like to put together a mitigation packet for, under the circumstances, for Mr. Contreras. If necessary, we can proceed today. We have like 7 witnesses we'd like the court to hear from, but I think we could streamline it and get some helpful information. Plus, it might help us with some dealings with the prosecution as well.
All right, who's the prosecutor on this case?
It's Melissa.
Are you all seeking revocation?
We are, Your Honor,
Okay.
given the allegations.
All right, so then what we'll do, Ms. Ferguson, is this going to be a plea of true with?
It will be a plea of true and by way of explanation.
All right, so you want to do the plea of true, we can do the plea of true today, then we can reset it and you can have your witnesses.
Yes, ma'am.
Or either if you all want to, if the state has no objections to you filing documents and they're not going to object, then we can do it that way.
I guess just let me see them and then that should probably be fine. I just like to look at them before I decide.
Fair enough.
All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 2494B State versus Willie Contreras Jr. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Alvin for the state.
Jay Norton for Mr. Contreras.
And are you Mr. Contreras?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision and State's motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke probation with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Willie Contreras Jr. who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 2494B for the offense of possession less than 1 gram on June 22nd, 2021 for a period of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
We're going to proceed on the violation of number 5 on the supplemental motion, Your Honor. In Barron County, Texas, the defendant, Willie Castilla Contreras Jr., did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of September, October, November, December 2021, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December 2022, and January, February, March, April, May 2023 in violation of condition number 5.
All right, how do you plead to that?
Yes. True.
All right, state.
We'll waive the remainder, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No, ma'am.
If you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. And defense, you are asking for time to have witnesses.
Witnesses and a mitigation packet for Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. If you'll recall this, we can, Monday. And they have witnesses. How many witnesses do you think you'll have?
Not 7 to 9.
7?
7 to 9.
All right, they'll have 7 to 9 witnesses. So on Monday, the 29th, if you could set that for the afternoon.
Your Honor, I believe we have our Docket hearing on Monday on our Havana Miller case.
I mean, How long will that take though?
I
really?
don't know, Your Honor. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, sure. No, that's fine. We'll set this in the afternoon too.
Judge, just for the court's knowledge, there is a very high probability that we will be in trial on the 290th, Monday.
Okay.
Because I think we're probably picking the jury today.
All right, well, I can bring this back tomorrow.
Judge, we need time for the mitigation packet.
All right, so let's see what happens with your trial on
We'll
Monday.
keep the court informed.
All right, so we're coming back on September 29th. And that will be at 1:30.
1:30. Yes, ma'am.
Once you sign the reset form, you excuse. Thank you for dressing appropriately for.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Victoria McCumber.
This judge,
All right, so where are we?
this is my first setting with Mr. Number. If I may speak, yes. I met with prosecutor. We've got a couple of options here. She wants to review some videos that could result in, number one, the case being dismissed. Number two, a possible PTD, which I've had her fill out a form to file it as soon as she reviews it, and maybe a possibly reduction in the charge. So we're asking for a reset in that regards.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, recall this for October 2nd for disposition. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge. Like I said, I've already got the PTD form filled out if we're going that route. So
All right, thank you.
October.
David Romero.
Present, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court is calling 2025 CR 002660, State versus David Romero Jr. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Michael DeLeon for Mr. Romero.
And for Criminal Trial Division?
Lauren Epinesa for the state.
And are you Mr. Romero?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same David Romero who's placed on community supervision in 2025 CR 002660 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams on April 16th, 2025 for a term of 5 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
That's violated condition number 1, which reads on or about the 24th day of July, 2025 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant David Romero committed the offense of criminal mischief in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 4 years in the prison?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 4. The court will find violation of condition number 1 true. And let me repeat that because I said it incorrectly. Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 4 years in the prison?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. The agreement is to deny state's motion, alter and amend conditions to add GPS tracking for 60 days, MRT, and to follow the TAP evaluation recommendations.
That is our agreement, Your Honor.
What has he done since he's been on probation? Has he completed anything? Any objection to the court reviewing the court summary?
No, Your Honor.
No objection, Judge.
Let me see. All right, so from reviewing the court summary, it doesn't appear that he is an appropriate person for probation. It says here that he struggles with reporting.
Well, I was going to like downtown and then to the one on Middle Church. So I had me go back and forth.
So they have previous They have you on a specialized caseload. And they have violation of program or service conditions, and it's a gang supervision. Does anybody know what that is about?
I met with them, that's about it.
I'm sorry, what?
I met with them and they said they were gonna just do house visits or something like that.
But he has reported, Judge. There's no violations of him not reporting.
Hearing from the people.
And then the new number one that he's pled to, what is that about?
Some type of utility pole. There was something was going on with the utility pole, right?
Yeah.
Okay. City property, therefore that's your criminal mischief.
So what is happening with that?
For the house, it was there, we caught on fire and I was just helping out the neighbor. And there was some burnt stuff.
Well, I need to, because he's telling me something different. You're not under oath, and I'm sorry, you're gonna have to speak up because the court reporter is trying to hear, but just give me a moment.
But Judge, on his County Court 5 criminal mischief case, once we're done here, we anticipate going over there, pleading to that case to resolve the situation.
So what was the alleged criminal mischief about? He's saying that he was helping a neighbor with a fire and a telephone pole?
That telephone pole had burned?
No, the house caught on fire.
All right, here's the thing. You want to tell us what's going on? Because if you want to tell me what's going on, no, stop. If you want to tell me what's going on, I'm going to swear you in. And anything that you say can be used against you in the criminal mischief case.
Let's hold on a second. I'll be safe to look up the police report.
And Ms. Abrams, this is David Romero. I'm trying to figure out, they say there's a violation previous.
I just think the state has an answer for you.
Yes.
Your Honor, this case was filed, the victim in this case is the city of San Antonio, and it's regarding the alleged striking of the utility pole with a hatchet, causing damage to said pole.
No. Criminal mischief judge, he's got no prior MTRs. We're asking the court to give him the opportunity to continue on deferred adjudication. And he has an elderly father he cares for, and he's trying to.
All right, so here's the thing with the elderly father you're caring for, you need to be thinking about that while you're doing actions that you should not be doing. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to give you a choice because I do see that you don't have any prior violations, and I'm sure the city of San Antonio wants to be paid if there was damage. I can revoke you and sentence you to 2 years. You'll receive credit for any time that you've served, or I can follow the recommendations from the state in probation. I'll alter and amend conditions to include GPS, and you'll only be allowed to work in nothing else, and the MRT course. Which do you prefer?
Second one, the MRT one.
All right, the court will deny the motion. Alter and amend conditions to include the MRT course and GPS partial for employment only, and waive GPS fees. Probation, is there anything else you would request?
Work for the outpatient treatment might be waived and documented over supporting.
All right, there's to be monthly UAs, outpatient treatment with probation, and 30 sober meetings in 30 days. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right, counsel, you're ready on Daniel Balderas?
Yes, Your Honor.
And state, are you ready on Daniel Balderas?
Yes.
All right, the court is calling 2024 CR 2985 State versus Daniel Ramos Balderas. Could I have parties announced for the record?
Melissa Alvin for the state.
John Daggett for Daniel Balderas.
And are you Daniel Balderas?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the defendant is appearing by Zoom. Any objection to the defendant appearing by Zoom?
None from the state, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Balderas, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Daniel Ramos Valderas.
All right, you have a right to appear in person for this hearing. Do you have any objection to appearing by Zoom?
No, ma'am.
All right, you may be seated. Thank you so much for standing. The court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to appear in person and has consented to appear by Zoom. Court is in receipt of a motion to set bond. State, have you had a chance to review the motion to set bond?
We have, Your Honor.
All right, the defendant is entitled to a bond. Is there an agreed bond amount?
Your Honor, I let Mr. Daggett know that I was comfortable recommending $20,000 and GPS monitoring for his client.
All right, and defense, what are you requesting?
We're requesting that the bond be maintained at the $10,000 that it was at currently.
Isn't he here on a motion to revoke though?
Yes, Your Honor, he is.
All right, any objections to the court reviewing the motion to revoke?
No, Your Honor.
None from the state.
Could I see the motion to revoke, please? And Norm, I need a reset date for this for a contested MTR in 10 days. What date? All right, your contested hearing is going to be October 7th. If you're still in custody, we'll have the hearing by Zoom if there are no objections.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. After reviewing the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision, if no one has any objection to the court reviewing, the court will grant your request for a bond as you're entitled to a bond. The court is going to set the bond at $50,000. There's going to be full GPS and the court will waive fees. Is there anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Jose Rodriguez.
Present, Judge.
Is it Jose or Joe?
It's Joe. His name is Joe. On the indictments, it's Jose, but it's Joe.
Mhm. All right, what is happening with his cases?
This is our second appearance. The state looked into discovery issues, specifically surveillance video from a junkyard, and they told us that it does not exist.
Okay.
So I'm still today. I think was just a discovery hearing. I think at this point we do have all the discovery that exists. So we just need one more setting to try to resolve this and get
Were
an
they
offer,
able
or
to
is
tender an
there-
offer or no?
Not yet. They've spoken to one of the victims. There's 3 alleged victims. So
All right, Ms. Ferguson. State on Joe Rodriguez, this is going to be recalled in 30 days. You need to be prepared to tender an offer.
I'm writing one in the file right now.
Oh, okay, then Norma, set this for 45 days for a plea deadline date. All right, and I'm giving you 45 days because I know it involves more than one case.
Okay.
All right, that's going to be your plea deadline date. On that date, you need to let the court know whether or not you've reached an agreement with the state. If for some reason your attorney wants you brought back sooner, then we will have you brought back sooner. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions?
One thing I just wanted to ask for is if there's any way possible that I could probably get probation because.
Oh, that's something that you'll need to discuss with your attorney and discuss with the state.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, I also was appearing for a compliance hearing for Michael Medina.
All right, just give me one moment. Let me put this in the system, then I'll take that up.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and who did you have? You said Medina?
Yes, ma'am.
Michael Medina?
Yes, sir.
All right, Michael Medina. Any objection to the court reviewing the summary?
No, Your Honor.
That's the wrong Medina.
You need a case number?
Oh, no, I'm looking it up on the,
I have this paper form from probation if you'd like.
okay, yes, awesome. I think I may have found, I found it. All right, so here's the issue we're having. They're recommending psychological evaluation and monitoring for DDRF. But He's been in jail and the wait is,
I think, Ms. Abrams said 15 weeks.
Yes, Judge,
15 to 20.
so that's just too long.
I agree, Judge. That'll put him in jail over a year.
Yeah. So, I mean, probation. Is there anything else?
sorry, Judge.
I think what, Sean had discussed possibly, MIC, placement into the MIC, the mental health unit and, a referral to Center for Healthcare Services at this time.
All right, so this is what the court is going to do. On this case, if there's no objection for defense, we're going to alter them in conditions to include MIC. Does he need the MIC evaluation or no?
Judge, he had already been approved for the MIC unit.
All right, so we're going to do the MIC and then he's going to be referred to Center for Healthcare Services. And we're going to do GPS, partial for medical appointments and waive fees. Is there anything else he needs?
Medical and probation, legal.
Yes.
Judge, is there a length of time you'll require him wear his GPS monitor?
Until further notice.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that's a good start, Judge, until he's in the MIC unit and we can do some additional, evaluations or speak with him a little bit more.
All right.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Judge.
Sandra Ramon.
Hello, Judge.
Hello. We called you, but you were
I know,
gone.
I'm sorry that
And you were just like,
I'm such a popular guy that many courts needed me today, so. And on this, I did want to ask you a question. I took this case over a month or two ago. The prior lawyer, I believe, had filed a motion for an investigator, Jim McKay, who I would love to keep on the case. And so if that motion is in the file, I haven't had a chance to check the court's file. I would request that you sign it.
sure. I'm sure it's already been signed.
Thank you.
All right, so where are we on discovery?
Judge, we have discovery. I have personally reviewed everything. They made us an offer today. My client has declined it.
Okay.
So,
All right, I need an acknowledgement of discovery completed on this case. And Ms. Ferguson, reset this in 2 weeks for a plea deadline date.
we do it the week after that, Judge. The 2 weeks from now, I'll be in Del Rio and Uvalde for several days. So if we could do it the week after that.
Sure.
Thank you. Perfect.
All right, we'll have you back here on October 16th. Once you sign the reset form, you are excused. Keep your dressing appropriately for court. I love that top.
Thank you.
Just have a seat.
Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead and call this one. If you like the content, if you're not subscribed to this channel and you like this content, please do me a big, big favor and subscribe to this channel and just help this channel grow. And by all means, please feel free to share these live streams out on the interwebs. Let people know that we are here and what we are doing. I want to welcome all the new subscribers to this channel. Thank you so much for your support. It means a lot to me. So that's going to be it for today. Tomorrow with Judge Middleton. So you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Ta-ta and ciao-ciao. I will see you again soon and have a good evening.
come down to it all. With your tools in hand, making magic flow. Every broken part, you help me grow. You fix it all, fix it all. You fix it all. Daniel, you make it right. Daniel, everything's right. When I'm falling apart, you put me back together. Daniel, you make it better. From the wires tangled up to the broken dreams, you know how to mend all my scattered seams. With your steady hands, you refill my heart. Every piece that's lost gets a brand new start. You fix it all, fix it all. You fix it all. Daniel, you make it right. Daniel, everything's bright. When I'm falling apart, you put me back together. Daniel, you make it better. Fix it, Daniel. Fix it, Daniel. Fix it, Daniel. Make it right when the world shuts down, and I can't see clear. You're my solid ground, always drawing near. Never give up on this heart of mine. Put it back together every single time.